Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Fan Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, broke right, Biletnikoff, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Biletnikoff at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we hope to be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. That's right, episode number 159 of Raiders Fan Radio, live coming to you from Murph's Fan Cave here in the lovely subsidiary of Nashville, Tennessee, Music City. And we proudly represent Music City on this day. And we're going to get into much more of that here in a minute. But anyways, thank you to all of those of you that are joining us live on youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. Thank you to all of you that are joining us on the podcast version. And so this week, I am joined in Murph's Fan Cave by my co-host for the night. He is the man that adorns the southern annex of the western annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, and that is our buddy Swag. Jeff, what's up, Swaggo?
Hey.
Oh, hi.
What's up?
What?
No, I'm trying to shake it, man. I'm shaking it a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
last week.
Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously that for sure, but you know, I just I'm a little emotional. So I don't know if you know this, but
okay,
my brother-in-law lives with me.
Yeah,
my brother-in-law Chase.
Yeah.
He's a great kid.
Okay,
he's gonna get married this next year.
Okay,
he's just a great kid, and he lives with me and my wife and my two kids. We opened up a room for him, and I got home the other day. And he was just sitting on his bed, just doing his homework because he goes to MTSU.
Okay.
And walked in. I said, "Hey man, what's up?" And he goes, "Hey man, can you pass me that bookmark?"
Bookmark.
Yeah, and I about started crying.
Why?
Well, because I've been his brother-in-law for 6 years, and he doesn't know my name is Swag Jeff. He called me Mark.
Mark.
Yeah, who the heck is Mark?
Oh my. Jeez, Jeff. Oh, my gosh.
Or should I go?
Yes, that's much more appropriate.
The dad joke of the week.
God.
I am so fired up to be here. Seriously.
Are
man.
you, though?
Oh, dude.
Oh, my
yes.
gosh.
Yes. It's great.
Oh,
it's going to be so good.
No, it is good to be back here in the fan cave, and appreciate you being here. No Uncle Mosh this week. You see there the western annex of the Murph Fan Cave desk is abandoned, and because this is no joke. Because Uncle Mosh is dealing with the after effects of the coronavirus.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
The school that he works at, apparently one of the students or teachers or something like that.
Parents of one of the kids.
Parent of one of the kids came down with the coronavirus.
And so they've closed his school.
They're all in quarantine and they're all, they've shut down the school and they've told him stay away until further notice.
That's exactly right. So he's staying out of the fan cave until further notice. But actually, we just had a couple scheduling conflicts, but it's all partly due to whatever, because Mosh's school is dealing with this whole thing, and in fact the entire county where Mosh teaches is on lockdown, as so many things now are, and we're going to get into more of that here as we get into more of the draft stuff. But yeah, man, it's a crazy world that we're in right now, and so but anyways, we'll talk about that in a minute. So as I mentioned earlier, you can see us live every Wednesday night for the most part, sans natural disasters. You can see us here on Murph's Fan Cave every Wednesday night, and if you join us live live at youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. You can jump into the chat and join folks like Herman Munster, Full Metal Mexican, Ron the Materator is in there, Atticus B. Rockin', Running Bear I see, Yo-Yo's in there, Tampa Raider, Fabricator Gill, DT the Sun. Appreciate all of you as always supporting us every week live on Murph's Fan Cave at YouTube. You can also subscribe to the podcast anywhere you find a podcast service. You can find us on like Stitcher, Google Play, all that kind of good stuff. And just do us a favor, please. Give us a subscribe, man. Hit the button, smash the bell, as the kids say. We're only a couple hundred away from hitting 2,000, which would be a really cool little landmark. So if you don't mind, just subscribe to us in that way. And let me just say this. Check us out each and every week. And if and when you tune in, if you really like what we do, then all you got to do is check out this other dude's podcast after the fact, and you'll hear our content repeated.
Well, yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I?
Oh, did you say that out loud just now?
I meant to think that.
Yeah, well, you know what? So speaking of that,
okay,
we're all about innovating.
We are all about innovating.
We're all about innovating.
That's exactly right.
We invent. We don't. What's the right word I'm looking for? We
don't imitate.
We don't imitate.
Nope.
We invent.
We create our own,
and that's okay. And that's
right.
good. And that's good. So obviously we have some listeners.
Yeah, apparently we do.
Well, yeah.
Apparently some that host their own shows.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah.
Sorry.
So
I'm shutting up now. I'm putting away the pettiness.
Speaking of innovation.
Okay.
So our channel's going to look a little bit different moving forward.
Yes.
Isn't it, Murph?
It's time for a little bit of a refresh, because you know what, Jeff? If you stop swimming, you die.
Exactly.
Ask the fish.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. You don't want to get stagnant. You want to always be thinking of new stuff. And so, as of probably next week, our channel is going to look a little bit different. You're going to be getting a whole lot more content. We're going to double up on our shows.
Double up, man. We're going to start bringing the content.
Yeah.
So, during this off week, or off weeks, I should say, we've had a lot of kind of like, I don't want to get it all heavy about it, like soul searching about the show, but just like we wanted to kind of talk about the direction of Raiders Fan Radio and what we were doing with RFR. And so ultimately this is what we decided, is that, first and foremost, the community around RFR is the best part.
It's unbelievable.
Of RFR. You guys that are in the chat, all of you that listen to us and email us and send us messages and call the show and all the email, whatever, all that is the best part of RFR. So from now on a Wednesday night, you're going to tune in to this. This is RFR Live. This will be the flagship show. This will be the numbered episodes. You're going to get that each and every week at the normal time, but we're going to focus on the sea of fans. We're going to focus on the chat. We're going to focus on emails. We're going to focus on the voicemails. We're not going to limit it to like 8 calls, which I never really felt great about that. We kind of had to in the interest of time. I never felt great about that. We're going to take that off. Now, we may not even get 8 in the off season like now, but during the course of the season, when you were getting 20 some odd voicemails and all that kind of stuff, we're going to play them all, because we're not going to rush in a bunch of Raiders stories. This show, the RFR live version, is just going to be interactive. That's 100%.
Yes, absolutely. So you guys make this show, the RFR community. You guys make us different than any other show out there. Any other show, any other podcast, any other team. We are family. We are community. And you guys make this. And so moving forward, RFR Live is going to be about you. It's going to be about you. You call into the show. You email the show. And we'll get our content from that, because it's so much content. I mean, it's going to make a show in itself.
Absolutely. That way we don't have to rush. I feel like so many times we get to the end of the sea of fans and we're kind of pushing to get through things. So that will give us more time to breathe, more time to be interactive with you all. Heck, we got a message from Kevin again this week, and he's like, when are you going to talk about the freaking penalty thing? Like, we still haven't gotten to it yet.
Right.
We're going to, not tonight, but we're going to get to it, because we're going to do a secondary show. We're going to do RFR Live, and then we're going to have a secondary show. I think we're going to call it the Rundown. We're going to call it the RFR Rundown, and that's going to be more where we can take 2 or 3 or 4 stories, and then we can really just let those kind of breathe and talk about those and kind of get into a little bit more in depth. Kevin also, and we've heard from numerous people look, you guys are awful kind to us, and it's awful flattering that you value our opinions on things, because we're just fans with microphones. And but people ask us, like, what are your guys' thoughts? I want to know what you think about this stuff. and so much we're pushing for time, so we glaze over that stuff. We don't get a chance to dive into it. That's going to change. So that show will be audio only. Probably be me and Swaggo, or me and even Sonny wants to join in on some of that stuff.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So we're going to have that coming for you as well. Swaggo, what else we got coming on the network?
We've got some old familiar faces coming back. We do. So we have heard from Mikey.
Yes.
And he is ready to gear up and do to reprise or reestablish Mondays with Mikey and Murph.
Starting the 23rd of this month. We'll have
Yes.
the new episodes of Mondays with Mikey and Murph coming at you. Mikey's nice and settled in now, so that's going to be fantastic. Look forward to that.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of familiar faces, we have also heard from Chuck.
That's right. The Fan Club
Chuck
Blitz
from the
is coming
Fan
back.
Club Blitz. They said around draft time they're
Yes.
gonna be ready to full force join the Murph Fan Cave Network once again. And so we are gonna have RFR Live. We are gonna have RFR Rundown. We are gonna have Tales from the Nation, Mojo's Pod Show, Fan Club Blitz, and Mondays with Mikey and Murph. We're just going to be giving you everything.
There's going to be way tons of content coming on the Murph's Fan Cave network. So please do us a favor again. Hit that subscribe on wherever it is that you listen. Tell your friends. Tell anybody that you know that's a Raider fan. That's all we ask. And anything, of course, that you do to support our show, any of the money and the revenue and things that we do through our listenership, we're going to give it all away. And so the more we can earn, the more we can give. And the way that we earn is by you guys subscribing to us and getting, other Raider fans involved in what we do here in Raiders Fan Radio. So thank you to you and allowing us to be that vessel of Raider information and content and giving.
Yes, absolutely. And we're talking about all these different shows, but the show that you're listening to right now is the flagship show,
yes.
RFR Live, and we are talking about Raiders Fan Radio episode number 159. And every week, your boy Swag Jeff gives a reference in Raider history to the episode number that we are on, and this week we are on episode number 159, Murph.
That's right. Absolutely.
And so this week, episode 159, we are going to be highlighting Marcus Allen.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely. Everyone's favorite number 32, or some people's favorite number 32, right?
Yeah, some people like Jack Tatum.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
And some Laker fans like Magic Johnson, but
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. But you know what? A favorite number 32, Marcus Allen. We're going to highlight the 1983 season.
Come on with it.
1983. But it's not the stat that you think of, Murph. It's not the stat that you think I'm about to give. Am I going to be talking about his running game, his ability to run the ball down the field?
Are you going to talk about Marcus Allen running with the Knight?
I am not.
You're not?
I am not. Do you think I might be talking about 32's ability to catch the ball out of the backfield?
Oh, my gosh. He caught 1 million passes.
I'm not even going to be talking about that.
What?
This week, we are going to be highlighting the 1983 season, Marcus Allen's ability to throw the ball.
Oh, that's right. He was a heck of a passer, wasn't he?
He was a heck of a passer in 1983. He threw 7 passes, completed 4 of them, for 111 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
And more than that, he averaged 15.9 yards per attempt. There you go. Episode 159.
Nice.
Marcus Allen, salute, my friend.
Salud. Oh, nice one, Swaggo.
Well, yeah.
That was good. Dig it. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider in the chat says Tatum is the only 32. I don't know, man. Marcus was legit, dude. Marcus, look, I'm a Tatum guy. I got him right over here. Well, jacked right down there. But, man, Marcus, man. Anyways, the guy was good, Swag. Good stuff. All right. So here at the top of the show, before we get into the main content
to
that we have
the
here.
meat of the show.
That's right. And by the way, all that stuff we told you about our kind of little bit of a format change. That's not going to be the case tonight. We're going to do regular old Raiders Fan Radio like we always do tonight.
And buckle up
Because it's a long one. I have a stack of emails, so does Swaggo, and we got 1 billion voicemails to get to because we missed last week.
And we got Vinny on standby just in case.
Just in case we get a little tongue-tied. In case Swaggo's tongue gets swollen up from a bee sting again. Then Vinny can jump in and read for us. So, okay. So the reason that we have all this backlog of content and things to get to you tonight is because we were out last week. We were out last week because those of you that don't know, I'm originally from the Bay Area. I'm from San Jose, California. Grew up a Raider fan and have since relocated to Middle Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. Very proud of our Nashville and Music City, Middle Tennessee residency. Jeff and Jeff and Uncle Mosh and I, all three, graduated from college here locally, like from the Blue Raiders, not the silver and black ones, but the Blue Raiders. And I'm very proud of where we live and have carried our Raider fandom with us here. So last week, the city of Nashville and much of Middle Tennessee were devastated by tornadoes. And we had tornadoes that came through. I was out of town actually on a business trip when it happened. But immediately, right out in the aftermath, so many of you reached out to us. And so I want to give respect to everybody that reached out to us. Everybody, all the phone call. I mean, we had people calling us, people that I didn't even know had our numbers.
Yeah.
People that were calling us, sending us text messages, Facebook messages, Twitter, you name it, emails. There is definitely on the Sea of Fans tonight, the voicemails. People have reached out to us. So much respect to you all. We elected to last week not do a show because frankly, it felt kind of, it wouldn't have felt right for us to come on here while people are literally suffering and, going through the loss of loved ones and like the devastation of their homes and all, for us to get on here and yammer about football. So it didn't feel right. It still feels pretty fresh and raw. But the cleanup effort is fully underway. The recovery is definitely underway. It's amazing the way that the city has responded.
Oh my gosh.
There has been, there's stories of other states sending us like cleanup equipment and like tree, cleanup stuff and all that. And like literally they're being turned away because all of the volunteers have already accomplished a lot of the, the cleanup process. So there are still plenty of people that are in need. I mean, the Titans Titans
donated $1 million.
$1 million. The Predators donated a bunch of money.
Yes.
Then the other teams in the AFC South donated like $100,000. Like
other NHL teams, everybody, because what happened here and the way the community has come together and stuff, it's more than sports, man. This is just family. This is life. And, to see everyone come together from all aspects of life, whether it's sporting teams, other communities, other states, all that stuff. It's so cool. And we talked about that. And instead of doing a show, we just volunteered instead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so speaking of that, thank you to those of you not only that reached out to us in terms of just kind of checking on us, just to see if we were okay, but also those of you that gave. So, we put out a couple of posts on some things just to kind of draw attention, hopefully, to some of the cleanup effort. And I want to point out a couple folks. Matthew Mangus, a dedicated RFR listener and supporter, donated $100 to the foundation. And I'm not saying that because he didn't do this to try to draw attention to himself, but I want to draw attention to him because he was one of the ones that reached out to us and was like, and he did it on behalf of our show, which that's, again, whatever we can do with our show, that we want to give it. We want to help others, and we want to, we want to love on others, and with whatever way we can, whether that be our efforts with the Biletnikoff Foundation or in this time. So all that said, I would ask you this. If you are willing to donate, go to cfmt.org. That's cfmt.org, and you can donate there. You can also donate by texting Nashville Strong, just like it says right up here you could text Nashville Strong to 68683, and you will receive a link where you can donate there. So that's Nashville Strong to 68683, and that's 100% of the money goes to the relief of this was 85 miles of destruction, and it was devastating. And again, so many people are still trying to put their lives back together. And listen, Oakland and Las Vegas and Los Angeles are a long freaking way away from Music City, USA. But still, Raider Nation came out, supported, checked in on us, and I give you the utmost respect, Raider Nation, for doing that. It almost makes me emotional.
Yes.
Thank you for what you have done for us and the way you represent Raider Nation during times like this. Often they say, Jeff, you'll learn people's true character in times of crisis. You learn who people really are when someone passes away, or whether there's a divorce, or whether you have a big trying time in your life. People's true colors shine. Our listeners during this, we don't even know a lot of you personally, and still you reached out and acted on our behalf and on behalf of the city of Nashville and this area. And so thank you. Again, I'm going to get emotional, so I'm going to stop. Let's go to something else. Get us a live read, Jeff.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to everyone who checked in on us and all that stuff. I mean, I sound like a broken record, but thank you so much. But anyway, we are going to move forward with episode 159 of Raiders Fan Radio. And before we get into the meat, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us, how you can get in touch with us, all that stuff. You are tuned in to the sometimes imitated, occasionally hilarious, often truffle shuffling, seldomly boring, always original Raiders Fan Radio. You can find us on all social media platforms, Facebook.com/Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, Twitter and Instagram, both at Raiders Fan Radio. You can go to youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave, where we are only 200 subscribers short of 2,000. And since someone steals from us sometimes, we're going to steal from one of our own. We are going to steal from one of our own. And you know what? Mojo is trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube.
Yes.
We're trying to get to 2. So you know what? Get us to 2,000, everybody. And you know what? We're not afraid to self-promote within self-promoting.
Heck no, we're not.
So what we are going to do is once we reach 2,000 subscribers, we are randomly going to select a subscriber, and we are going to send you a framed get-made t-shirt signed by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. And since it's Swag Jeff, you know what? I might give a little bit of my swag away. We might have some other things that we want to. We might have some other things that we want to give away. I might dip into my own closet and give you something. You know what?
Nice.
Yeah. So we're all about that. We're all about self-promoting. But you know what? We just want to get subscribers. Please subscribe to us if you like the show. If you watch the show, that's where the chat is. That's where the meat of the show really is. You guys are way funnier than we are.
Yes.
All that good stuff. You guys are the community that is the lifeblood of this show.
Yes.
And we can't thank you enough for that. So please subscribe to that. If you call us, 909-345-3346. If you call us 3 times, you will get made. And if you email us, just, I don't know, it could be twice, it could be 20 times. We don't know, but you're also
good.
Well, yeah, and make them good. And you know, and yes, and subscribe to Murph's Fan Cave wherever you find your podcast. You will get RFR Live, the RFR Rundown, Tales from the Nation, Mojo's Pod Show, the Fan Club Blitz, sometime after the draft, and Mondays with Mikey and Murph. You'll get 6 shows. We're gonna load you full of Raider content. It's gonna be great. Thank you very much, and we are going to get on with the show.
Boom.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
And I hear that our boy Max Crosby's got a new girlfriend.
Oh, boy.
So
Gross.
good luck to him.
Yeah. Oh, man. You. Sheesh. That's so... You have to put 3 X's in his name now.
Oh, my God.
So terrible.
Whatever. Move on.
All right. All right. So, hey, I heard a really funny thing this week. We're getting ready to get into the Derek Carr saga too. So get ready, Raider Nation. Yeah, buckle up here. We're going to dive right into it. Mosh isn't here to yell at me if I talk about Tom Brady, so we're going to dive into it. I heard a really funny one this week. This was a Twitter thing. Oh, you know what? Like tweet of the week, right?
Oh, there you go.
Tweet of the week. Okay, so here's the tweet of the week. I didn't have it on a rundown, but
okay.
I saw from a guy this week on Twitter at Ramblin' Raider, RAMBLIN_Raider. He asked, "Who are the 3 Raiders you would want to have on your side if you were to get in a bar fight?" I was like,
current Raiders?
Any Raider. I was like, that's awesome. So I picked Lyle Alzado. And tell us, chat room, and I want to ask you to shout them out in a minute. Tell us, chat room, who your 3 are. I picked Lyle Alzado, I picked Jack Tatum, and I picked Sebastian Janikowski.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay. I'm like, those 3 guys. But afterwards, I picked Seabass because I thought it was kind of fun and funny. But afterwards, I'm like, Big Ben Davidson might have been my 3rd instead because no one was more of a badass than Ben Davidson, especially back in
and
the
if
day.
he's at a bar, he'll drink a Miller Lite.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
With his commercials?
Exactly. Good memory, Swaggo. Yeah. So I thought but that's a fun one. You got 3 off the top of your head?
Oh my gosh, I would say Alzado for sure.
Alzado for sure.
For sure. And
that's almost like on the Mount Rushmore, like it's just an automatic.
Yeah.
Like
You get spotted Alzado.
Everybody spotted Alzado, so pick 2 more.
You know what? And I would say Stabler.
Oh, I like it.
Stabler. And you know what? I'm going to bring it to the new Raiders, and I'm going to say Jonathan Abram.
Oh.
Just because, you know what? I want to have a drink with that guy.
Yeah, I know, right?
I just want to have a drink with him.
Absolutely. You know what? Kenny is sneaky badass.
Well,
he was a sneaky tough guy because he was really likable and really kind and friendly. But Kenny could throw.
Absolutely.
Kenny could throw. All right, so who do you guys got out there? Sis-Drunk, Alzado, and Foo, Eye Patch says. That's a good one. Q-Dog says Alzado, Twos, and Tatum. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
I like that one.
He said, Herman Munster said, perfect. That's all you'll need.
Just perfect.
Just perfect.
I dig it.
He'll dive head first right into you.
Who's that? Was it Herman Munster?
Herman Munster.
That was awesome. Fisher says Matuzak, Alzado, and Jim Otto.
Oh,
that's a very good,
nice.
Very underrated tough guy. There, Romanowski, I see in there. That's some good ones in there. Shout out to Ramblin' _Raider. That was a pretty fun question. All right, so Swaggo.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, what this offseason is crazy. Okay, so kind of the crux of the offseason so far has been, what are we going to do with Derek Carr, right? And there's a lot of Derek Carr talk amongst us fans.
Yes.
The Raiders have been...
I'm sporting his jersey tonight.
On purpose.
Because
this might be the last week that he's on our team.
This is the last episode before free agency, so you never know. You never know.
Oops. Well, I went the wrong way.
Hey. Easy.
I tried to fix the camera, and the cable got stuck and it yanked it down.
Yeah, it did.
Sorry. Sorry for me to yank your cable, Jeff. Hey. Okay. So, anyways, the Derek Carr saga has been a... I can't concentrate now. Max is watching too. She told me she's gonna be watching tonight. And now I'm Max. Hi, boo.
Hi, boo.
So yeah, we were talking about yanking your cable. All right. Sorry. Okay. So,
will you start?
Thank you. Yes, please. I need to.
Good grief.
Yes. All right. So so that's been the big talk, but it's mainly been amongst the fans. The team has been relatively non-committal, but still supportive of their guy. But we've heard John Gruden be, relatively supportive and non-committal with other guys like, I don't know, Khalil Mack, Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Amari Cooper,
right?
for sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So we've heard that story before. So who knows where this thing is going to go?
Ron the Mater Raider, I'm
What?
sorry. Ron on the chest says, Jeff, what do your balls think about the Carr situation? Cuts to swag balls.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's terrible. The camera just goes, what? Oh, jeez. I got my glasses fog up. Okay. So Clay Travis, who I think is really funny on Twitter. I think he's lost his mind on this coronavirus stuff, but he's really funny on Twitter, and I love his rants on stuff. So here it is. He kind of breaks it down, kind of what we have going on around Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, not a full-throated endorsement from the Raiders, who are reportedly going to go after Tom Brady as well. Could they go after Teddy Bridgewater? Could they go after, I don't know, anybody else, Marcus Mariota, that's out there that's a lot more affordable? Maybe Cam Newton if he comes available. I think that it is going to be a intriguing story to follow in Oakland as John Gruden prepares for year 3 with the Raiders as they move to Vegas from Oakland and as they begin a new part of their franchise's history. Do they have a sexy sizzle higher at the quarterback position, or could they go into the draft and get somebody? That's a story worth following as well. I don't buy that the Raiders are committed to Derek Carr.
All right, so we months ago talked about after the end of the season, talked about how it would be prudent for the Raiders at this point to explore another option. And I think that's what Clay's saying. And I think ultimately that's what the Raiders are doing, that they're not closing themselves off to another option. That when you have a guy that on paper does a pretty good job, but doesn't seem to have that it factor in terms of the clutch gene. We have seen him at times in glimpses and been great in comebacks. But also we've seen him with a record of 5-45 when he falls down, when his team falls behind by more than 10 points, where on the converse of that, we see somebody like Mahomes have 3 come from behind victories of more than 10 points in the postseason.
Yep.
Right? Like, so that's the challenge for Derek. So, and I think that's the challenge for the Raiders, is that he's not bad, but he's not taking us to the next level yet though either.
Right.
And so ultimately, I think we felt months ago, we talked about this, that it would be prudent for the Raiders to at least explore another option.
Yes.
To at least explore the idea of bringing in a genuine, I don't want to call it a threat, but a push of his position.
Yes.
That historically he hasn't been challenged. That's the word I'm looking for. Somebody to challenge him for his spot.
Right.
Mike Glennon, Nathan Peterman, Deshaun Kaiser. These guys aren't going to challenge Derek Carr. Not even Matt McGloin or Connor Cook. Or, these guys didn't challenge him. What we speculated on was that a guy like Marcus Mariota might actually be that kind of guy. John Gruden loves reclamation projects. The Raiders as an entirety love reclamation. Marcus Mariota is a guy that Gruden and Mike Mayock loved when he came out of Oregon.
He can beat the Chiefs.
Thank you.
Even if he has to throw a touchdown pass to himself, he can beat the Chiefs.
Still beat the Chiefs. He can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs too, huh, Jeff?
Absolutely.
So, there's and he's a little bit more dynamic in terms of his running ability and his elusiveness, which is now the way the NFL's going.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that just made sense to us that Mariota would be the guy. It has nothing to do with where we live, although he played right down the street. It had nothing to do with that. It just felt like it would have been a good fit. Well, now here you go. Here's the next thing to build on this little Derek Carr saga.
Yes.
Mike Garafolo of NFL Network came out this week and kind of laid out this Marcus Mariota potential.
Drive a wooden stake through that story to kill it. I just can't. I can't go that far for you. I would say it's unlikely based on the conversations that I have had. So I would say if there's no Tom Brady, then some other veteran quarterback that's going to be out there. And I'll actually give you a name that I think you should watch here based on what someone told me. That is Marcus Mariota here. And I love this thing that's available to us, and I don't know how long it's going to be available to us. It's that we can go back and see what Mike Mayock said about some of these guys when he was working for us at NFL Network. And I went back and checked. Where did he rank Mariota? Oh, that's right, number 1 over Jameis Winston in that draft. So he has a high opinion of him already. And it would be an interesting situation if he did wind up with the Raiders because, are the Raiders married to Derek Carr? Are they moving away from Derek Carr? I think it's somewhere probably in between there. And it would be interesting to see if they add a veteran, Ian, what the dynamic would be like.
I think it's an interesting choice. And I think that the quarterback room, if I remember right, back in that episode, I think it was like 6 weeks ago, whenever the heck it was, when we talked about it, we said it would be cool to get Mariota in there as the free agent signing and then use one of the third-round picks that the Raiders have to draft a younger
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
see, maybe a guy like Hurts falls to that point or something like that. He did have a pretty good pro day over at Oklahoma. He looked pretty on point, so I don't know if his stock is rising. But a guy like that, you can build around a guy like Carr who maybe, will Mariota become the starter or will he push Carr to the next level? You don't know. You've seen Carr do well. You've seen Carr do well, so he can do well. Take a look at 2016, But, you get both of those guys training a guy like Hurts or one of the third-round quarterbacks that are available. That's pretty cool.
I think so, too, man. I think that it will round out a really nice quarterback room, and I think a guy like Mariota fits exactly what – now, there's a little bit of what, he's too soft of a spirit, and somebody like Gruden. I'm like, yeah, we heard that about Derek Carr, too. Like, these guys are football players, man. They're not like, you know what I mean? He's not going to get his feelings hurt by John Gruden. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't buy that. And I think that in terms of character and like dedication and like work ethic. Like he's perfect. Like he's exactly
he's right in line with Carr. You know,
exactly.
He's, the guy that, good family man, all that kind of stuff. Just may not be as loud as some other quarterbacks, kind of a more soft-spoken, lead by example kind of guy. When he was in Tennessee, watching him get benched and stuff like that, to see him be Tannehill's biggest cheerleader, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, man.
That shows a lot about his character, who he is as a man, all that stuff. So I dig that.
I do too, man. I'm a big supporter of this move, and again, just if anything, because I think, listen, here's the bottom line, Raider Nation, is that as much as we may get bothered by Derek throwing the ball in the dirt and the fumbles through the end zone and the things that look, there are things about Derek that are challenging. I'm gonna read you a couple things here. If Derek Carr starts the season opener for the Raiders this year, he'll become the first quarterback since the merger to start 7 straight season openers for a team without ever appearing in a playoff game.
Wow.
How about that? You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
So there's some things that it's just, anyways, I forget where I was going entirely with that. But the bottom line is this, is that Derek needs to be pushed or they need to move on from him.
Yes.
But I think that ultimately he's got it. He's a talented guy, and the likelihood of him being our starting quarterback week 1 is very good. I think he's going to be the guy, but I think they got to do their due diligence to try to push him a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. What about past the quarterback, Jeff? Let's go past the quarterback and talk about some of the other Raider needs this year. We were at we went and got craft services before the show tonight, and went and talked to our buddy Jeff Murphy down at Domenico's.
Absolutely,
which was awesome. And we were talking about kind of some of the other needs that the team may have, something outside of just the quarterback. Obviously, we're set at running back. We're looking really good on the offensive line. Like, a couple pieces maybe still that need to get moved there. But secondary, linebackers especially, like linebackers.
Yeah, linebacker, wide receiver for sure.
Absolutely.
Those are definitely things that need to be addressed.
So let's go back to NFL Network and hear from our buddy Peter Schrager on Good Morning Football and hear what he has to say about what the Raiders' needs are in 2020.
I'm going to go with another team out west, team starting a new home. I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders. I feel like the Raiders, the wheels fell off at the end of the season, but the Raiders had one of the best draft classes you'll see in the NFL, and they did it last year. When you go out and you draft those 3 guys in the first round that we know, Cleve Farrell, Josh Jacobs, and Jonathan Abram, and then you also go out and get Trayvon Mullen, who started at corner. Max Crosby was a finalist for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Foster Moreau started at tight end. And Hunter Renfrow, who's a great number 3 wide receiver in this league. You have a good core and a good talent base. That was Mike Mayock's first draft. This year, they have the 12th and the 19th pick. They also don't have the distraction of Antonio Brown, which I think kind of haunted this team in the summer. Yes. Now that's clear. And let's look back at week 12. This team was 6-4 coming off that Thursday night win against the Chargers. They were a game behind the Chiefs. They lost to the Jets and they fell off. I think the Raiders are a team that I would circle to make this big swing, going from 7-9 to being a team that can compete not only in the AFC West with the Chiefs, but really make a play in the AFC. Fascinating what they do in this offseason. 12th and the 19th pick. And of course, have a lot of money to spend in free agency. And are starting in a new home with all that excitement around Las Vegas.
That's going to be incredible.
This would be a cool story if the Raiders became one of these teams that we're talking about come January next season.
Absolutely. And, and to kind of piggyback what he said right there, we've got a lot of free agency money to play with. Yeah. We've got a lot. And we just, obviously everyone probably listening knows we did just release Whitehead, Tahir Whitehead, but that saved $6.5 million in cap space. So,
and the rumor is we're shopping Gabe Jackson, which would free up another, $8 or $9 million.
Yep, absolutely. I trust Mayock completely right now. I really do. I mean, whatever he decides to do, I'm all about it, man. You just do your thing because you brought us an all-star draft. Yes. So, you know what? Man, you do you. You and Gruden are working well together. You're putting together the right pieces. I really do think we are just a couple pieces away from really taking that next step.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. I'm with you, and those are great points. And, and speaking of that, so Whitehead was let go, and I got another stat here for you. This was kind of Because you get the impression that, he's a pretty good player. I know he got challenged in coverage, and especially with the way that they expect that middle linebacker to drop and cover the middle of the field, and we saw him get burned a bunch of times, but he's such a good guy, and he's a very likable, human being, you know what I mean? So, you tend to get kind of caught up in that, at least I do as a fan. I tend to lean towards those guys anyways.
Sure.
And, and he was good. He was all over the field, but then he started giving up a lot of snaps to our buddy Will Compton, right? And, when you look at this, listen to this one, Jeff. When I read this, I'm like, well, okay, that's why they let him go. So he had the big cap number, right? Didn't have a lot of dead money back against the cap. And out of Tier Whitehead's 941 defensive snaps last season for the Raiders, was the most in the NFL for a linebacker who failed to record a sack, an interception, a fumble recovery, or a forced fumble.
Wow.
941 snaps. And did not register one of those single stats. So that tells you it right there. Is that worth $6 million a year?
Yeah, $6 million for sure. Yeah, no. And I think who was it in the chat that said Cameron A said 9.6 savings if they get rid of Gabe.
That's what I'm talking about,
that's
man.
Strong, but you know what? To piggyback off of what you said about Whitehead, is that you want playmakers? We're looking for playmakers. We're ready to take the next step. Did he do his job? Yes. Did he lead in tackles? Yes. But you know what?
He's the Derek Carr of defense.
Hello?
He's there, and he's great.
He's there, and he's doing kind of what he needs to do. He's
not elevating, not making these big game breakers. That's a good point, Swag. Yeah, man. And, so in linebacker, I think is really, it's been forever. I feel like ever since we've done this show, I've bitched about linebackers. Forever.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We've never had that big splash move other than Burfict, maybe. The big move, the big commitment to the position. It was always because Reggie McKenzie was always you can get value for them later in the draft. And it was crazy to me. At one point, we had all linebackers running this team. We had, Jack Del Rio and Reggie McKenzie and Ken Norton Jr. running the defense. And everyone's a linebacker except the freaking linebackers. We had all these people running the show that were linebackers, former linebackers, and they didn't see value in linebackers. And I'm and in the meantime, we're seeing all these amazing linebackers run through the draft. Anyways, that said, now with the release of Whitehead, the rumor is that they're talking to Kirksey already.
Yep, they are. Yep.
Okay, and then you got the guy out of Los Angeles. Was it Littleton? Corey Littleton?
Yes.
You got him coming up in free agency. The idea there's going to be Patrick Queen potentially. There's Kenneth Murray potentially. In the draft, one out of Oklahoma, one out of LSU. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for the Raiders to fill the linebacker room. And as much as we love Will Compton, I don't know if there's going to be room for him. Maybe. I don't know. He's a free agent. He's on a one-year deal, but we'll see, man. But I think that linebacker room is going to look distinctively different than what it did in 2019, other than probably Nicholas Morrow.
Yeah, maybe him or Markel Lee, maybe stick around,
That's going to be about it. You know what I mean? So, all right, next up, continuing on the theme of the Raiders' needs, let's hear from Derek's older brother, David. And big surprise, he doesn't think they need any quarterbacks.
What about the Raiders? They have 2 first-round picks, 12th and 19th. What do you think they should do?
John Gruden probably wants 2 receivers, but that's not going to happen. So I think one of them will probably be there at 12. And there's several, obviously, that we've seen in the Combine. I think CeeDee Lamb is the guy. Mm-hmm. Nice. I hope he's there at 12.
Why?
I don't know if
I don't think he will be.
He's just so natural.
I don't think he will be.
His run after the catch ability is next level. His just smoothness catching the football. We saw him go through the gauntlet at the Combine. He didn't even break stride. He didn't even slow down. He didn't fade away. I mean, the guy just does everything. And so, for me, he's the perfect complement to what they would want to do in Las Vegas. And,
and a certain relative of yours.
Maybe I'll say we. Derek would love him. He would love CeeDee Lamb. Just come.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb, I think, during the Combine, during his pro day and all that stuff, I think he's elevated himself, man.
I think
he's
so,
He's kind of the standalone top receiver now. He's creeping into a lot of mock draft top 10s and stuff like that. So as far as receiver goes, I do think they take a receiver at 12. And is it Ruggs? Is it Jerry Jeudy? It's going to be one of those Alabama boys. for sure, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be great. And there's a lot of good wide receivers. That's a good thing in this draft.
It's deep.
And they're all. And I know Ruggs is the kind of the Raider fan favorite right now because he's like all the speed. Like there's no one faster than him.
Yeah.
And we all watch Tyreek Hill tear us up every year and all that. So I get it why everyone wants Ruggs. But they're all fast. Like, none of these guys are slow. It's not like we're talking about, one of these guys like, he's got size and he's got good hands, but he's lacks speed. Or whatever.
Right.
All these guys.
Well, when you look at these guys, do you want, it's like comparing Julio Jones to Tyreek Hill. Which one do you really want? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Julio's not as fast as Hill, but he's fast too, and he's a big guy, right? But point being though is that like all these guys are they're not dissimilar in their skill sets. They're all great route runners, very precise, great hands, you know what I mean? Like excellent change of direction, so I think either of those three guys we're good on. Here's the thing though, the Raiders have proved to us, if anything, they'll wild card it on a pick. Like just because that's where we think they're going and that's what the media is talking about, that doesn't mean that's what they're going to do. That goes back to the Al Davis days, and that's the Mike Mayock days, too. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're always going to draft who we want them to draft.
F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L.
Am I right?
It ain't furl.
There you go.
There you go. There's case in point right there.
Case in point right there. So I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, all signs say one of those wide receivers and then a linebacker.
Yep.
But again, you never know how these things are going to play out. You never know who's going to package what to where. There might be a big splash move. Who knows, man? We might go crazy and get a quarterback. You never know. I mean, you really don't know.
We could trade and move up into the top 10 to go get CeeDee Lamb. You don't know.
You don't know. And that's why this thing's a crapshoot. And if you think the Raiders are going to tip their hand, I would encourage you to think of it differently because they're going to, if anything, they're going to misdirect you. They're going to make you think that you want to do. They're going to make you think that they're doing something. You know what I mean? Like they're following a certain path, but at the end, they've got something completely different going on. It's a poker game. We talk about this every year.
Yes.
The draft is a poker game between 32 people.
Absolutely.
They're all trying to figure out. They've all got different needs to address. They're all in different positions, and no one is going to tip their hand. Any information that you get is usually false. It's usually misdirection. It's usually a bluff because they want to advance their position. They're not going to give away what their intention is.
Absolutely. And what's different with us, we experienced it last year, and now we're going to get the full force of it this year. It just goes back. I trust Mayock. Yeah. I trust him, man. Whatever he decides to do at 12 and 19 and in the third round, 80, 81 or 81, 82, whatever it is, I trust him, man. I trust him wholeheartedly and completely, and I just can't wait for it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited for it one way or the other. I wish I could see it live. Draft button.
Here is the latest draft.
There's a draft!
Watch out for drafts.
This is the NFL draft.
Look, I'm entering the draft.
Let's go and pro in the draft.
You're going to the draft?
The draft looks solid.
They drafted me.
Apparently you were drafted.
I drafted you.
I got drafted.
Draft picks. It's my third draft.
You only get drafted once.
Let's talk about the draft. It's our draft.
You draft me in the first round.
Excellent draft.
You dig that? We're going to Vegas, Mike.
Vegas! You think we get there by midnight?
Money, we're going to be up 500 by midnight.
Yeah! Vegas!
Vegas, baby! Vegas!
Well, we might be going to Tunica, Mississippi for the draft because unfortunately the RFR crew is not going to make it out there. So here's a skinny, and I'll keep it brief because we've done enough internal housekeeping for tonight. You guys are probably sick of hearing us talk about what our plans are for things. I'll just tell you real quick. I canceled my flight. I canceled my Vegas trip. There is a handful of different reasons. I'm not a guy that subscribes to fear-based decision-making. I don't let external dynamics affect the way that I live my life. but I've also become highly aware of things in the world that are maybe at times good decisions or bad decisions, and sometimes you just got to make a choice between things. And here's what I think. I'm not going to Vegas because of the coronavirus, but whatever the effects of the coronavirus are, I think are going to impact the draft. Because
Absolutely.
Here we are, and we've got April, so we're 6 weeks away or whatever. I'm just saying, if you guys think that the draft is going to be unaffected in terms of operation, I don't think so.
Ask the Coachella folks.
Yeah, ask Coachella. Ask
Pearl Jam.
March Madness. Like E3.
Ask the Warriors.
The Warriors. All these things are getting canceled. And the number one thing they're saying is don't get on an airplane and avoid large crowds. And I'm like, well, what is going to the draft for us is getting on a plane and going to a large crowd. Now, if I didn't have to get on a plane, I might think differently. But what I'm really most concerned with is I'm not worried about getting the coronavirus and dying. I'm not even really worried about getting the coronavirus, period, because the odds of you getting it are low and the odds of you really getting super sick from it are low. And I'm not worried about that. But what I am worried about is that going to Vegas and the strip is shut down. They got no shows because of all the stuff going on. If they start canceling the draft events,
yeah,
what the hell am I going for?
Right, they might not let you even, be there for the draft. We were talking about before the show, if this keeps going the way that it's going, it's going to be an empty stage at the Bellagio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And frankly, if I'm going to go to Vegas, I don't want to go do that. I want to go to a game. And so here's the other thing that came up. We have an opportunity later in the year to go to one of the first games in Vegas, maybe even the home opener. And I had to make a financial choice there that, you know what? A home opener ticket is not going to be cheap, getting access, period. And we're going to potentially have not only access to it, but we're going to, look, and I made, this is just my decision. Anybody, what you're doing, do you? And I'm just telling you what's going on with that. Then the reason behind why we're not going to be there, that was it. Is that I'm gonna make a choice considering all this other stuff that's going on, and the idea that I want to hopefully have the opportunity to go to the home opener or one of the early home games later on this season. So yes. I'm not going to go. We're not going. And here's the thing: Swago already wasn't going. Mosh literally couldn't go. He's part of the age group. They're telling his age group, don't go on an airplane.
Yep.
Don't go in large crowds. You're over 60. You don't do that. Mosh would have been like a no anyway.
Pirate 1975 said he's more worried about getting Tom Brady than the coronavirus.
Well, hey man, brother, right? And you know what I mean? But so that's it. So anyway, so we're not gonna be there. A lot of the made men still are, and they'll have a blast and they will hold it down. But it's just a choice that I decided to make, and it sucks. I hate this. I hate the idea because I love Vegas anyways, let alone where the freaking draft is, which we love, and let alone in the city where our favorite team plays.
Well,
it's I'm kind of.
But if they shut everything down, and you're in Vegas gambling for 5 days, we're not going to have a Murph's fan cave.
There won't be a fan cave anymore.
No, you're gonna sell the deed to the fan cave for gambling money.
All right, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So it's crazy, man. They're canceling all these events. No more than 1,000 people are gathered. No more than 250 people gathered. And I'm just looking at this because here's the thing: if I were to cancel the trip now, I was able to get my money back. Where if I waited longer, it would be out of it. So I'm like, well, I'll gamble on this one. I'm going to bet that this stuff is going to change more detrimental to the event than positively for the event. So anyways, there you go. So anyway, so that said, before you get to the draft, you have to have a combine. And Mike Mayock was at the combine this year, hanging back out with his old NFL Network buddy, Rich Eisen.
Who?
Rich Eisen.
Oh, my buddy Murph. He's not just consistent, he's a man of his word.
Thank you, Mike Mayock.
There you go.
Thank you. What's your name?
About that.
Thank you, Rich. I was reading Mike Mayock when I said,
easy.
Sorry. Thank you, Rich Eisen.
If you have any interest about that.
Okay.
He's only got 4 more Brady questions, and then you're good, man. Just go. That was
Come
one.
on, I'm not the first one to ask you about him this week, am I?
First of all, we're not allowed to talk about anybody that is involved.
Good answer.
Nicely done.
It doesn't matter. And the second piece of this that people don't understand is how good our quarterback is. And it frustrates me a little bit because Derek Carr threw for 70%, 4,000 yards, almost a 3-1 touchdown interception. Here's the real deal, Rich. The real deal is I think we're number 7 in the league in third downs, 11 in yards, and the disconnect was, even though we're 11 in yards, we're 24 in points. Mm-hmm. We have to do a better job scoring points. That's on our defense, number one. We got to be better defensively. We put too much pressure on our offense. We weren't good in the red zone. We weren't good goal to go. That's not on Derek Carr. You know, we got to be better everywhere, and I think people just need to kind of pump the brakes a little bit and give the guys some credit.
What do you think, Swaggo?
You know,
it's like a non-committal support is what these comments that he and Gruden make. It's
but it was more committal than non-committal, in my opinion.
You think?
I think so. You know what? I think when free agency opens, we're going to tell very quickly what they're going to do with Derek Carr. And I'm not talking about signing Marcus Mariota. I'm not talking about signing whoever at the quarterback position. I'm talking about how aggressively are they going to go after wide receivers in free agency. We're going to know real quick what their plan is with Carr. Super fast.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, yeah.
How, are they going to aggressively go and try to steal Stephon Diggs from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Are they going to go and, throw the boat at AJ Green? You know what I mean? Are they going to get weapons in place to make it easier for Derek Carr? Do you go and get that and then get Mariota? Have the 1-2 punch, have the push for Carr, and give him options.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, dude.
That's
what I'm hoping for.
You know what? Look, I want Carr to succeed. I really do.
Of course, yes.
I really do. I love the guy. Not only do I I just love him as a person. He's our brother in Christ and all that kind of stuff.
Amen.
And I dig the guy, man. I really like him. I think he's a good leader, but he does need help. He does need help. I don't know if Tyrell Williams isn't a number 1 receiver. He's a solid 2. A solid 2 or a solid 1A. But you know what? He's not a number 1 receiver.
Right.
So if they aggressively go after an elite receiver, then I think you have your answer. I think you're going to stick with him for at least another year.
Well, I don't see them somebody'd have to make an awful dumb offer to him for him to move. I don't think the idea of like their shopping car, but I think they're open for business, and if somebody came along and offered them a 1 or a couple of 2s or whatever that is,
sure,
whatever their value is they assign to Derek, I definitely think that they would be open to that. All right. So next up, so speaking of that, of the trading portion of it, at least, there has been some talk that the Raiders would be one of the teams willing to trade around at the draft. Now, like typically, I'm kind of all for this stuff as far as moving around goes, but like what we said earlier, we kind of trust Mike Mayock. So I like Mike Mayock with 3 third-round picks. So do you want to package 2 of those to move up? Like I almost feel like giving him more swings is better than giving him, 1 less swing that's a higher place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because what do we have in the third? We got
3 threes. We got 2
80,
1s and 3
you
threes.
got 80, 81, and 93 or something like that.
Something like that.
So
yeah.
you take your 81 and 93 and you trade it to get back into the second round.
Yeah, and seeing that's a nice thought, but do we want it? Would you rather have the extra pick to give Mayock another shot to hit on a Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow?
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's a hard one for me. Okay, so that said, let's at least hear about it. This is Ian Rappaport.
Going to go pretty early, and you might actually see teams scrambling to come up, not just in the top 10, but in the top 5 to make sure they get their quarterback. And, of course, no team has more trade speculation than the Miami Dolphins. They are picking at 5, and, of course, the Detroit Lions also doing some of the quarterback work. But still, they would be the potential team. And Bob Quinn, the general manager of Detroit, has been open about it. Potential spot to come up, maybe for the Dolphins, slide up and get the quarterback that they want. Obviously, they are a name to watch. Another interesting one here, the Las Vegas Raiders at 12. We know they're in the mix potentially, or they hope to be, for Tom Brady. They have said openly they want to upgrade at the quarterback position. Could they be a team to come up in the top 10 to make sure they get that 3rd or 4th quarterback taken? Those are some big names to watch. A couple other possibilities, maybe the Colts or maybe the Carolina Panthers, although I don't imagine the Panthers would move up very much. They don't want to give up draft capital to build.
All right, Swaggo, what do you think?
Yeah, It all goes back to I trust Mayock.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, in Mayock we trust, or whatever you want to say. You know, he found some sweet picks late in the draft.
Sure did.
You know, hashtag Max Crosby, hashtag Hunter Renfrow, you know, Foster Moreau, all that stuff. I dig
Foster
that,
Moreau, man. That's an underrated pick right there,
That's
dude.
an underrated pick,
Underrated
man.
pick.
You know, I mean, he gets overshadowed by Darren Waller a little bit, but, you know,
he's a rook, dude. Like, that guy's gonna ball, man. I can't wait.
You know, and he's a big Raider guy. You know, I mean, he's been out in the media and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, him and Abram are, you know, they're all over the place, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. You've heard enough from us, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into the CFans mailbag.
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught, he's thrown. It is.
All right, here in the Sea of Fans mailbag on Raiders Fan Radio, which is soon going to be the focus of this RFR live show. You can contact us in one of two ways, please. You can call us always at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Leave us a message, and if we play your message on the air 3 times, you become what we refer to as a made man or a made woman. And we've got one to award tonight. We've got a new made man here in the Fan Cave. You can also email the show. You can email us at show, SHOW, at RaidersFanRadio.com. That's show at RaidersFanRadio.com. And if you email us an indefinite amount of times, then we will refer to you as a made man or a made woman in that way, like our friends Haley, Queen Haley of Scotland, or our buddy, His Lordship Paul in Shropshire. So definitely hit us up. And that's our favorite part of this show is the Raider community, the Raider Nation, the RFR community that comes together. And so we're going to soon again focus the entirety of this show on this portion, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So get those things coming, please. Get those messages, get those emails coming in. So we got because we want to hear from all of you, and this is really cool, Swaggo. So we've heard from so many people tonight. We've got a nice long email and voicemail list, and a lot of folks we hadn't heard from in a minute. Alex and Alaska Raider, and a lot of people that we hadn't heard from. So we're really excited to hear from them. But before we get to all of that, I want to get to one of the Raiders, and I want to hear from one of the Raiders because one of the Raiders this week was talking about us. He was talking about us Raider fans, Jeff.
Hey,
and listen to how quick this answer comes out of this guy's mouth. And we are talking about Ty Williams, somebody you just brought up a minute ago.
Yes,
I want you to hear when he's posed the question, the difference between the Chargers and the Raiders, how quick the answer comes out.
The biggest difference in the playing for the Raiders and playing for the Chargers is what?
Fans.
You actually have home games.
Actually have home games. There's fans everywhere. They're into the game. You know, the stadium's full. You know, and that was something that, you know, I had coming from Western Oregon. You know, I never had played in a big stadium with home fans there either. So it was kind of the same with the Chargers. And then coming to Oakland that week 1 against Denver on Monday night was unbelievable. And then it kind of stayed the same throughout the rest of the year, and it was awesome.
Biggest difference, Jeff.
I like it. Yeah, it really. Yeah,
Fans.
It took him 2.2 seconds to answer that.
Thank you, Ty Williams. We appreciate you, man. That's so cool, and appreciate man. I love it when we get shouted out by the players. You know what I mean? Like, because so much of this game, right? You feel like non-consequential as a fan.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But so it's really cool when they do that. All right, so we got a lot of emails tonight. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first? Or should we do Capo and then go emails? What should we do?
Let's start the evening with the Capo.
Let's start with the Capo.
Why not?
We haven't heard from him in a minute. So the leader of the crew, we call him the Capo. He is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider because every made man, made woman crew needs a leader. And so let's hear from our buddy Aaron. This call is from the first part of this is from last week. But since we didn't have a show, we're going to go ahead and play it now.
Greetings, it's your Capo and the Q-Dog Raider coming to you from the great state of Texas.
Wait, I got to tell you this too. I'll start him over again. You gotta dig the smooth jazz going on in the background. This is the best. Listen to this background music.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Greetings, it's your Capo and the Q-Dog Radio coming to you from the great state of Texas. Don Murph, Larry Moss, Underboss Sonny, Sergeant at Arms, the Big Raider Trucker, Mojo from the Pod Show, Raider Ramon, Swag Jeff, Nation. First, thoughts and sincere prayers go out to all those people impacted by the tornado events surrounding the eastern part of Nashville. We just hope everybody is safe and recovers well, and hopefully we can go ahead as a nation and support that effort because we're all Americans. Now let's get down to it. Tom Brady, TB12. There's a lot of conjecture going on about whether or not he's going to join the silver and black, and whether he does or doesn't, makes not a difference to me. Honestly, TB12, he can stay packing. I want to end his career, not extend his career. But take this into account. The Pats are going to lose $13.5 million in cap space if we allow him to go into free agency, whether we take him or not. So look to March 18th to actually him signing back and using the Raiders as leverage in order to have a better sweetheart deal into his swan song seasons. The nation should also want no part of this whole hanging fruit. However, let me play devil's advocate. Let's say that, in fact, we do take on TB12. Well, there's a whole host of individuals that have actually gone on record to want to line up side by side with this guy and play with him before, he hangs it up for good. Think of this. TB12 could actually be a force multiplier. Shout out to General Powell. But follow me. With Nevada's no state taxes and the allure of the Vegas lifestyle, could you imagine, the people that would want to come and play with him? I'm talking OBJ. I'm talking about Gronk coming out of retirement. Think about this situation for a minute. Hell, you even got the one with the bad feet that was unceremoniously sent packing, and we shall not say his name, wanting to clamber back and get back in good graces. He's apologizing to everybody like we give a damn. Quick hitters, the Raiders, we can use another pass rusher, and we have got a stellar one, and we have the means in order to get one back into the fold. To join Max Crosby and Beatty Cleveland, F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L, who gives a damn? Step your game up. But adding Yannick Ngakoue from Jacksonville.
I love this call.
Man, I tell you what, that would definitely make our pass rush feared, if not respected. Henry Ruggs, we just got through coming out of the combine, a 4.28 40 non-win aided official. Look, you can't coach speed. All things being equal, draft speed. March 16th through the 18th, of course, look to free agency. At 4 p.m. on the 18th, the floodgates will open. The Mecca. Sign up. But anyway, I'll go ahead and digress. On the 23rd through the 25th, that's going to be the draft. Come out there. It's going to be an RFR made man who's who. Come get down where you fit. Get in. Mess with us. The itinerary is still being formulated, so get in where you fit once again. Now, let's speak a little bit more on the draft. And we're going to keep talking about the draft until the draft occurs, so just deal with it, baby. The Raiders have 2 picks in the first round, and I guess they're going to have 3 in the third. But given Shucking and Mayock their druthers, we might just acquire something for Derek Carr. I'm thinking like a day 2 pick or picks. I think he may warrant a second-round pick, and for somebody truly desperate, we might get a first. But I don't think Tampa Bay, according to the latest vibe out there, is going to be chomping at the bit to bring him on. I said it before, and I'll say it again. DC 4 to the Colts. The Indianapolis Colts. I've got my reasons. You might have heard them, but that's where he's going. June 14th through the 16th, the Raiders hold their first mini camp in Vegas, and Chucky's gone on record as saying he's going to open up the doors. Anybody that wants to go in at 10, come on in for free. So knock on wood if you're with me. The hit list. Rumors of our defensive tackle, second-year player P.J. Hall sending dick pics to other men. And all these sudden, out of the woodwork, Kansas City Chiefs bandwagon fans driving around with their flags on their cars, flags in the front of their yards, in their neighborhoods and stuff like that. Get over yourselves. Where were you guys for 50 years? Ain't buying it. We got to make sure that we bring back the Lombardi next season. This is untenable. And respect to B-Dog in a pasture. Haley, the Lady of Darkness, Watts Raider, Sugar Shane, Bobby Wasabi, Raider, Homer, Splatterhead, Potts Fitz, His Lordship, Paul from Shropshire, Mississippi, Eye Patch, Rev Raider, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Running Bear, Coach Davis, Raider Lim, Raider Cliff, and Ron from Alliance. Rue.
Oh my gosh, he's the best.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Eye Patch said that music needs to be played behind Rico's calls.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so good, Q.
Oh, so good. So good. So Aaron, man, so he called us back and had time to get to the whole thing there, but he did call with a little smidge of a hit list.
Oh,
he kind of put PJ Hall. It was kind of like a kind of a loosey-goosey hit list there, right?
Yeah, it was.
He got real precise on this one.
Bro, what the hell I'm talking about? Of course there's a hit list. And Tahir Whitehead, you on it. Cover that.
Well, there you go.
I said cover that.
There you go. And he gone.
He gone.
He gone.
He gone. Tahir.
So, we got some emails.
Yes, we got lots of them.
We have some emails and
All
a
right.
crap ton of them. And we do have Vinny on standby.
Yeah, hey, Vin. Hey, be ready.
Be ready, just in case.
Go over here. Put your head on this side so people can see you. There you go. There you go. Just say hi.
Put some drawers
There
on,
you
bruh.
go. All right, yeah.
Put some drawers on, bruh.
Be ready. Be ready to go in case we need you to come
Yeah,
and pinch hit for us on emails.
Yeah, you're in the bullpen. Just
That's
in
right.
case.
Yeah,
just be warming up.
That's right.
Just be warming up.
All
Do
right.
some
do some vocal exercises.
There
or
you go.
something.
There you go.
All right,
Murph.
Yes.
I am addressing this email to only you, Murph.
Oh wow! What
for
do I...
reasons that will become apparent.
Oh,
well,
I'm a parent.
Since it's a bit of an NFL slow time.
Will you stifle yourself?
I'm on a roll, man. I'm trying to read this damn email.
All right. Hey, why you gotta? First, Uncle Mosh yells at me and threatens to walk out, and now you're yelling at me on the show.
Well, let me read the email. I struggle with these emails, man, and I was on a roll. I didn't say the entire time, and you're over there giggling and hooting and hollering. Give me a second. You're killing me.
Okay, go ahead.
Murph.
What?
I am addressing... I am addressing this email only to you, Murph.
Okay, thanks.
For reasons which will become apparent.
I can't wait to hear him.
Since it's a bit of a slow NFL time,
yeah, it is.
Being post Super Bowl and pre-combine / Las Vegas draft.
Well, yeah.
My thoughts have turned to the proposed nickname. You son of a.
I'm done.
Turned to the. My thoughts have turned to the proposed nicknames for Allegiant Stadium.
Okay.
It seems as though the leader in the clubhouse is the Death Star. Like Uncle Mosh, though, I am not enthusiastic about the Star Wars franchise. Correct me if I'm wrong, which I am not a Star Wars junkie, but doesn't the Death Star in in various incarnations fail to make it to the final credits? I, for one, think a slightly more imaginative, invincible, bulletproof, impregnable, indomitable, insurmountable, invulnerable, unbeatable, unconquerable, unstoppable moniker is in order. Let's get creative and come up with a fitting term for the new nation's capital. Just a thought. Raider Nation forever. Proud made man, Frank from NorCal.
All right. There we go, Frank. Appreciate the email, my friend. And good job, Jeff. Way to get through there.
Yeah, thanks for all your help.
All right, so here's the thing. I've heard from numerous people, and you guys know what a Star Wars geek I am. I freaking love the Star Wars franchise. I love a lot of facets of pop culture, and it's definitely on the high end of it for me. And if you could see the other end of the fan cave, you would see that clearly on display over there as well. All right, so I'm not going to apologize for having my opinion because I'm clearly biased. Okay, but here's what I do. Here's what I will say in response to that. That I've heard like other names like the Black Pearl and like these other things being thrown out.
That's pretty cool.
Black Pearl's cool. I like the Owl since it's Allegiant Stadium.
Oh.
I like the Owl. But here's the thing. Owl didn't get this done. Owl tried for the entirety of his life to get a stadium built for the Raiders and never did. So if you want to name it after somebody, it should be the Mark.
The Purple Shoe Stadium.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So here's why the Death Star is cool. Regardless of what happens to the Death Star, because those pesky rebels went in there and blew it up with their photon torpedoes, despite that, what is really cool about the Death Star is that it's the ultimate base for the ultimate bad guys in the universe. And what are we as the Raiders? We're the villains of the NFL. So the ultimate bad guy base is the Death Star. So it makes sense that they call it the Death Star. What else
could you say? Star Killer Base?
Yeah, you're not going to call it Star Killer. That's goofy, right? And even if you go to like other franchise, like we used to jokingly refer to the Oakland Coliseum as Mordor. Well, freaking, you know what? Like Sauron doesn't win at the end of the Lord of the Rings. You know, the Mount Doom explodes and Mordor falls, but it was still a cool way to refer to it because it had all these gnarly orcs and all these badasses in there ready to fight. It was an intimidating place. That's why the Death Star moniker is being applied. And listen, even if you don't think it's cool because I like it, Jonathan Abram likes it, and he gets to go play there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I think
I'm
Death
still
Star,
all in on that.
I think it's a great nickname. And listen, even regardless of what my opinion is on it, people are just flat out referring to it as the Death Star. Like, it's like, I've had people send me videos, like friends and stuff that know what big Raider fan I am and all that.
Yeah.
And send them videos and they'll be like, oh my gosh, it looks like a Star Wars thing. Or, oh my God, like you see this.
Seeing pictures of it being built and stuff like that, it just reminds you of the Star Wars scene where it's like, it's nearly operational.
Yes.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that's just cool, man. I dig it.
Man, that's no moon, buddy. Yeah, no, I'm with you. So anyway, so there you go. So there's my lobby for the nickname Death Star. All right, my turn. You're gonna interrupt me while I'm going. Wait for it. I'm going to see you locked and loaded. Okay, let me sure I get this right this time.
Okay, get it right.
Yo, what's up, Murph, Swaggy, and the one and only Uncle Mosh? It's Ty the Raider, or ta-da Raider, like Uncle Mosh likes to say. I'm sending this email with hope that Murph forgives me for giving him the et al. I remember that. It felt like the 2017 season, week 15, with 39 seconds left. Just as I was going in for the W. Never mind. I don't want to make myself angry, but since I'm speaking of Carr, I must say things that have been interesting. As everyone was freaking out, the media, about this no caption post, it reminded me of my daughter's favorite movie. Maybe Jeff is familiar with this movie as well. You see, her favorite movie is about a girl named Poppy and her friend Branch on a journey to rescue their friends after these Bergens invaded their land.
Yes.
You know what
Trolls.
he's talking about? Okay.
Yeah, I've watched that only 873 times since I have a 3-year-old.
Okay, there you go. Their mission is full of adventure and mishaps, and as the mismatched duo tried to tolerate each other long enough to get the job done. Sound familiar? The name of the movie I'm talking about is Trolls. There you go. Carr's just trolling. He sees and hears all this trade talk and thought, hey, I might as well get in on the fun. So you see, not only does the relationship between Poppy and Branch remind me of Carr and Gruden. Carr is the happy-go-lucky one and naive, with Gruden being the grumpy guy with no time for BS. I figured something out very quickly. Carr and Gruden are in cahoots. Either that or Carr is in deep, you know what. Anyway, after listening to Mayock in the Combine press conference, I know without a doubt we at least trying to bring in Carr's replacement no matter what. In the meantime, I guess we have to just try to keep coming up with new names for the stadium. He's jumping around on us here. Okay. I like the Death Star. There you go. Over the other name being thrown around, even though I've probably seen less Star Wars movies than Uncle Mosh. I look forward to saying beam me up, Scotty, or Kirk, I am your father, or however it goes. Maybe Murph can help me figure that one out. Yes, I will, because we don't hawk the Trek around here, pal. I just want to give a shout out also to Big Raider Trucker and Mojo for being my first 2 and only Twitter followers.
Nice.
Yeah, just like Mosh, I twit now at Ty Damack. TYDAMACK. With all the love and respect, guys, keep up the show. I'm looking forward to everything you guys got coming, plus the return of Mondays with Mikey and Murph on tap, my friend. From yours truly, Ty the Raider. Ta-da!
Nice. Good job, brother.
Good job, Ty the Raider.
So the next email is from Trinidad Ledesma.
I got to stop you. P.S.
From Ty the Raider.
I got a P.S. from Ty the Raider.
Yeah, you do.
P.S. I think my wife might let me go to Vegas for the draft. Ooh, he sent this a week ago. If not, I'll just tell her I have to go to work conference and better my security skills so I can babysit empty buildings.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Nicely done. Nicely done, Ty.
Nice. Trinidad Ledesma, his question is, do you guys update your podcast subscription to include Las Vegas? Which I don't believe we have yet, which we need to.
We need to.
So thank you, Trinidad.
Yes.
He was looking for was looking for more podcasts about the Raiders, which obviously you guys are the best. And what popped up was appalling. Tim
Kawakami?
Yes, came up ahead of you guys. People looking for Raider news and information need to find you guys and not someone with a negative bias towards the Raiders. Thank you guys, and I hope everyone is okay after the recent tornadoes there in Nashville. Regards, TL.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Trinidad.
So we need to update that. We need to update that and make sure we're at the top of those lists.
Yeah, because our stuff is all listed as Oakland or Los Angeles.
Yes.
None of it's listed as Las Vegas. So, yeah, I guess we do need to get to that, huh?
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely. All right, next up. Good evening, RFR family and swag. I'm not sure how to take that. Does that mean
RFR family and swag?
And swag. ...
and Jeff? Are we bringing it back to old
I don't
school?
know, man. Like, and swag, man. I don't know if that's a specific shout out to you to isolate you to elevate you, or if that's you're not part of the RFR family. Huh. Or the RFR family is everybody, not me and Mosh, and then he cites you. RFR family, all our listeners, and swag. So maybe you should read this.
No, it's okay. I'll take it positively. It's all good.
Okay. This is Daniel Menges from Fremont, California. Well, another combine has come and gone, and now it's all onto the draft and free agency. Everyone has been asking me who I want in free agency, and honestly, I want a linebacker that can run sideline to sideline. Amen, brother. And can cover tight ends and running backs also. I would take any quarterback not named Tom Brady or Phillip Rivers. F both of them, and their agent called Mike needs to answer professional and then say Raider Nation for life to Rivers. It was a fumble to Brady and then hang up. Anyone who wants either of them needs to raise their hand and then take that hand and slap themselves. On a sad note, I'm here to announce that due to darn school, my twin and I can't make the draft, and it's heartbreaking to both of us, but we are going to the athletics opening day, and we are ditching school and work to do so. I've been there, my friend. I've ditched a few school days. That stay in school, kids, but I have ditched school to go to A's games and Giants games even, too.
Vinny, cover your ears.
Yeah, did you hear that, Vin? Good.
Nothing. Good. Never mind.
I can't make the draft. It's heartbreaking to us both. Okay, now on a more serious topic. Last Wednesday, my godmother's birthday, and like my dad, she's a diehard Raiders fan, and she would call me every Sunday to see if I was watching the game. Unfortunately, sad. Wilson's disease took her when I was 13, and I miss her like crazy. But now the Raiders have a fan cheering them with Al Davis in heaven. Anyway, as they say in Canada, peace out. Yours truly, Daniel Menges, 3-time Sizzler Award nominee, proud made man. P.S. Brady, stay away from my Raiders or I swear I will burn your jersey. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Oh, nice. He's won the Sizzler 3 times?
Well, he says nominee, so I think he was in the mix.
Well, if you call in, you're always in the mix.
I think he's won it 3 times.
I think he's won it 3 times.
I don't think you're a nominee. I think you're a winner. I don't know. Paul runs it down later on.
We need to get with that.
We'll get to Paul for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Murph, Uncle Mosh, Swag, Jeff, Made, men and women, and all the rest of the chat. Bottom line, if you are a Raider fan, Carr is our quarterback until he's not. Stop the rumors and think about who we would add to make this team better. If the Raiders trade him, I will be upset, and we'll follow how Carr does on whatever team he goes to, just like I have with Mack and Cooper. When I started following the show, all I saw and heard from was people that we are family. I used to think that way, and I'm not 100% sold anymore. In any family you have disagreements, but you would always have your brother's back no matter what. It seems like this family has forgotten the phrase once a Raider, always a Raider. We used to back our players till they were not on the team anymore and still welcome them back once they retired. But fans today seem to not be able to be the same, have the same loyal level fans of old. But before you get mad, just think back of when we backed players back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We might grumble, but we always had their back until they left our team. I just want to see the nation be what we were when we were winning and in family as we once were. I still be the first to back any of you in a fight or to be the first to reach out a hand to help any of you. Raider Nation for life. Now let's get back to being a family and cheer our team no matter what and who is on the roster. Have a beer, get mad when someone drops the ball, or shout Raiders when someone scores a touchdown. Looking forward to a great year for this team and a great year talking to all of you in the chat and in person. Proud made man, one-time winner of the Sizzler and the grumpy old bastard, Running Bear.
Nicely done, Running Bear. Nicely done. Appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate you writing in. Hadn't heard from him in a minute. It's good to hear from him. Always in the chat. I don't know if he's in there tonight, but usually he's always in the chat. Hey, Vin, come read an email. All right, we're gonna bring Vinny in here. Come and read one. Go sit in Mosh's chair there. Fire up his microphone. Put on his headphones. Come and read an email. Okay. Hurry. Go faster than that. I'm just kidding. You can go as fast as you want. All right, here we go, Vin.
We didn't sound check that mic.
Oh, I'll have him. Okay, go ahead, buddy. Hello? Oh. Okay, go now.
Okay.
Okay, got to talk loud.
All right.
Okay, welcome to Raiders Fan Radio, Vinny.
Thank you.
Say hi to the chat room.
Hello, chat room. How you doing?
The chat room says, we're great.
All right, so.
You're an idiot.
Big stupid.
Hey, you're not supposed to call your dad big stupid on a national radio show?
I love it.
Or an international radio show.
True, yeah.
All right. I'll get it. No. All right, go ahead. Read.
Okay. Good evening, fellas. I called on the voicemail/Google death line earlier and it got me thinking while it's off the season. There really isn't much going on besides rumors and opinions that all these taking heads have. I think we all have 7 quarterbacks.
Vinny!
Vinny just said his first cuss word ever.
And he did it on the air. You're not supposed to say that.
All right.
Okay, all right. Good job, son. Way to stick to the content. That was good.
Tannehill, Winston, Love, Rivers, all in camp to compete with Carr, depending on who you listen to. So, while it's slow and after the aftermath of what happened in your area, I also thought I'd also write in. I don't know how many of your new listeners realize how close to home this disaster was to you guys. As a long-time listener and getting to meet up with you guys, Q-Dog and Monster Mash Ken at the draft last year, I'm pretty familiar with the idea. So, in retrospect, we never know if and when our lives can change. We, the listeners, I feel, had become familiar with each other to a point, conversing in the chat room on Wednesday nights. Being a made man for quite a while and being of Italian descent, this means your family.
Yeah.
So, since it's slow, maybe we can share, if people want to, a little bit about ourselves to other made men or family. I'm Ben Koopa, a.k.a. Eye Patch. I might use this name because my 2 team I follow, their logos wear eye patches, Raiders and Pirates. Yeah, the both such my 2 kids tell me all the time. I get it. I also switched to this moniker after becoming a made man. Yes, Paul Sizzler Award scorekeeper. I have won the award as Eye Patch a few times, but also as Florida Raider back in the day. Born and raised in New Jersey, I moved to Palm Coast, Florida, just south of St. Augustine on the East Coast 33 years ago. Transferred with my job at FedEx Express and still work there 36 years, and this should be my last. I have 2 great kids, great shepherd dog, fiance who always gets put in order after the dog. Dang, okay. I've been a Raider fan since 1968 and will always bleed silver and black. When I'm not working, I'm usually at the beach kayaking or riding my Harleys. That's awesome.
That is Harleys.
Harleys.
That's
yeah,
cool.
Plural. I hope to hear from more of you and your whereabouts. I know Q-Dog is in Texas, Mojo is in San Diego, and protects our country. Hats off to you, Mojo.
Amen.
I have a long-time friend who lives in San Diego. Bro, I got to get out there and hook up. I'm going to try and get to the road games in Atlanta, Panther and Jet games this year. So I'll make sure to hook up with the boys from the fan club Blitz and Monster Mash Kin. That's all I have for now. One nation, one family, Raider Nation. F.U. Google Voice, prayers, Eye Patch.
Nice. Good job.
All right, Eye Patch. Good job, Vanucci.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Way to run the emails there, son.
Yeah.
Good job.
And way to dodge reading an email there, Murph.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, that's what happens when you're the show producer over here.
I suppose so.
Thank you, buddy. You did a good job.
Of course.
All right, pal. Love you.
See you.
Okay. Next email. Hey, Murph, Uncle Mosh, Swag Jeff, Capo, my fellow made men and women, and the rest of the RFR Fan Cave Nation. Just finished listening to the show, and I had to respond. First, let me preface with in Mayock I trust, meaning whatever direction he decides to go, I completely trust his judgment. This will be my last take on this matter. So I'm going to bring some heat, show you some numbers, and go over Maximum Overdrive with some who made who. Now, as far as the Brady, or for that matter, any current free agent quarterback on the market, if we part ways with DC, whether by trade or release, it will still count about $7.5 million against the cap for the next 2 years. We are not going to sign any of these QBs for any less than what we're paying DC right now. So we're talking between $25 and $30 million at least, plus Carr's dead cap for a QB that basically statistically is the same and still does pretty much the same thing that DC does that irritates people. Pocket passers that don't keep the play alive with their legs. These guys aren't Mahomes, Jackson, or Russell Wilson. To me, this would be a lateral move for any of those QBs, and if you're going to pay more for that, you're just getting rid of Carr to get rid of him. Getting rid of him just to get rid of him. I would like to submit into evidence exhibits 1 through 10. Please see attachments. Jared Cook, his first year with DC, he doubled his production in Green Bay, and last year had about a 25% decline in production with the Saints. Therefore, he was more productive with Carr than he was with Rodgers and Breeze. The list goes on and on. Crabtree, Roberts, LaFell, Holmes, Patterson, Slater, etc. Cooper is the player that you have a similar production on a different team. I would even challenge you, the proverbial nice. To find any running back, tight end, or wide receiver who had a better production after leaving the Raiders, which begs the question, cue the music, who made who?
Oh, I wish we could play it.
Yeah, were all these players weapons of DC, or as I contend, was it Carr who MacGyvered these players into his weapons? Carr became the marksman with a Daisy Red Ryder. Wouldn't it be nice to see the damage he can do with an M110 sniper rifle? The defense rests. One Nation Jeff.
One Nation Jeff.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah, man. You know what?
Part of Jeff Nation.
That was a hell of an email.
It's a good email.
That was a hell of an email.
Is that a Sizzler contender?
It's a Sizzler contender.
I mean, I'm not trying to put my thumb on the scale, but that's
Don't put your thumb anywhere near me. But that's a contender.
That is a good one. Hey, and before we get too far from it, I do want to shout out the chat. Appreciate everybody in there. A lot of kind words for you, Vinny, on your email. Pirate 1975, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Ron the Mater Raider, Tyrone Graves, Raider Born Rico. What's up, Rico? What's up, Eye Patch? Fabricator Gill is in there. Logan Moore, Running Bear, Raider J, The Big Easy, Full Metal Mexican. So many people in there tonight. I appreciate all of you and the interaction as always. All right, next up, I've got greetings, Murph, Mosh, Jeff, and C, the entire umbrella, Mojo, Q, the one and only Nation, and Mikey. We still got an eye on you with much love. I feel like a line from my favorite hip-hop song by Eric B. and Rakim. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope rhyme to step to. As the snow melts and the flowers and trees start to grow, awaking from hibernation has woken me like a grizzly that's got to eat. The greatest nightmare of a Super Bowl is almost a distant memory, and the 1% NFL revenue increase of mustard and ketchup stained gear will start being returned for refunds in time for Christmas next year. But first, before our annual Christmas in the spring, the NFL draft, we must get through this onslaught of media misleads and desperate deceptions. Why must we all get trolled? Because we are the only ones who care about the draft. This is Raider Christmas. But before I get into that, next week, I got one big issue with mass media. The fickle mistress. Uncle Mosh, I'm sure you've met her. Drafting a starting quarterback could be much worse than drafting Jamarcus Russell all over again. I'm not even saying Derek walks on water. Strictly from a management perspective, the last thing you're going to want to do in 5 years is re-sign Derek's replacement when he's bumping up to our all-time everything, Derek Carr, in the record books. Imagine the leverage this young quarterback would have in a brand new city about to become the franchise leader in every category by beating out the guy you replaced him for. Besides, Carr is a cap-free cut next year, and 7 years of stats is a lot harder to fit the rookie to is a lot harder for the rookie to beat out in 5 years than 6. I'm not saying not to replace Carr, not saying he's untouchable. Replace him with a vet, though, that in a later round, maybe a bench sitter for a year type of rookie. The last thing Mark Davis will do is replace the first ever $25 million quarterback with the first ever $50 million a year quarterback. Besides, if we would have had a number one wide receiver that didn't have mental issues, adding a minimum of 800 yards and 8 more touchdowns for 3 to 4 more wins, y'all did, I get that, right? We'll be putting Carr in a gold jacket. He's referring back to the conversation we had about the production of Antonio Brown under normal circumstances. What does that look like for the Raiders season? That's a great point. We've got a lot more issues than Derek freaking Carr. Even if he is checking down the dirt on fourth down, every team goes through injuries, and it's how you keep afloat that makes your season. We were a young, up-and-coming team, so thin, and we weren't just replacing people on a roster. We replaced C-patches and green dots with the next man-up mentality. Those next men up were undrafted free agents, cast-offs, and practice squad thefts. What hurt us more than anything last year was tying up $20 million for an entire free agent signing period through all of camp and preseason and not getting one snap out of the former soon-to-be greatest receiver of all time. And I was happy to hear Mike Mayock own up to his mistake. Derek take notes on owning his own crap. That's how it's done. So Raider Nation, please stop. Get some help. We've all been trolled my entire life. We've been trolled my entire life. From Megatron and Manning visiting camp all the way back to Jim Brown at 50 coming out of retirement. Amen, dude. Good memory on that one. Mostly because without anything, and I mean anything, was possible. Look to our bright future. New stadium. We've got the best and somehow underrated rookie class of all time. We still have some great pieces in place with an outside-the-box GM and head coach. Let's trust the system. But please get us a linebacker who can spy. I can't watch Kermit the Frog run for his life because our D-line is bearing down on him as our secondary holds up for 20 seconds as he dumps a 5-yard check down that goes to the house. I must add, I still listen to every show, and I'm really getting into this podcast YouTube thing. I finally get the end around on the Miss Media bias. See y'all in Vegas. Sounds like Murph and Mojo, or just Mojo now, and Aaron and Q-Dog Raider. There's going to be more. P.S. If you need a cameraman, I'm bringing mine. Stacy Ruff, a.k.a. Rough Raider.
Stacy.
Right on, dude. That was legit.
We've got a picture of Stacy.
Show it. You got one?
Yeah.
Did he send us one?
Absolutely.
Well, let's see it. Ah, nice. Ooh, that's legit, man.
Yeah, that's dope. I like it.
Cool, dude. That is way cool.
Way cool.
Very cool. So great job on the email, Stacy. We appreciate you, my friend. And,
yes.
Yeah, keep them coming, man. Keep them coming. All right, Swag, you got one more?
I have one more. Do you have one more?
I have one more. Yep.
Okay. All right. Hey, Murph, Uncle Moss, Swaggy J, made men and women, and all the Raider Nation. This is Raider J77, a.k.a. MVP, and he was the one that actually got Will Compton to respond.
That's exactly right.
Yes. First off, I'd like to say much respect to all of you and what you do on behalf of the original nation, Raider Nation, by providing us with Raider content that's both informative and entertaining. Much love. Next, I'd like to address the nation as a whole and the Raiders organization by saying it's a pleasure to be a part of something with so much history, mystique, and personalities aplenty. We're all in this fandom together, although if you're on any Raider social media, it does not always present as such. With that being said, I would like to make a suggestion to Raider Nation, and that is to sit back and try to enjoy the ride that is your love and vested interest in the silver and black. No one knows which way the autumn wind will blow or just what ship will sail. Nor do we know what cast of characters are in the next chapter of this swashbuckling adventure to obtain which will be the most coveted in all the NFL, the Lombardi. Will we be there soon? Will we be there later? Will Derek Carr be our quarterback in 2020 and beyond? Will we finally draft a playmaking linebacker in the draft or bring a superstar in from free agency? All that remains to be seen. But what we do know is what is in the here and now, and that is that we are the Raiders and we're badass. We know that Vegas is our capital now, and what better place can there be other than the city of Oakland or LA to represent the bad boys of an NFL team than the city that the bad boys built. We know that our GM and our coach are both leaders of men and take no BS. bust tail, love the game of football, and approach to what they do day in and day out. We know that we're focused on a return to the commitment of excellence. We know that when all is said and done, the members of this nation will show up and show out every game to cheer on and support the best NFL franchise in the history of American football.
Come on.
Of these things, we know we have no doubt. So let's take a cue from the love guru known as Happy Gilmore. Put on your favorite jersey and grab your most beloved Raiders memorabilia, turn the lights down low, and let Lionel and Diana serenade us with their sultry love ballad into the night. Because the love for this team is real and the future is bright. Peace out, Raider Nation. Just win, baby. Raider J77, a.k.a. MVP.
Nicely done, Raider J. Appreciate that. Dude, anytime you bust out a Lionel Richie reference on this show, I'm all about it, dude. You know what my favorite one is?
What's that?
Well, I like Commodores. I like Easy, right? Easy like Sunday morning, right? But I think my favorite one is You Are. You are the sun. You are the rain. Remember that one? Anybody in the chat room? That makes my life this foolish pain. You need to know I love you so.
Oh, my gosh. Just
and
keep
I'll
going.
do it all again and again.
I'm all about Lionel.
Whoa. Oh, man. Lionel's legit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You are, dude. Check
yeah.
it. Check
See,
me on that, Raider Nation. You are.
I like Stuck on You.
Oh,
Stuck on You. There's a feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Yes, I'm on my way.
Oh!
Oh!
Come on,
look
Swaggy!
at there.
Love it.
Yeah, I
Love
needed
it.
a friend. And the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you to the end. That is Raider Nation. It's Raider Nation.
What other podcast are you going to come to that the hosts are going to sing you Lionel Richie songs in the midst of our emails? Come on now. Lionel, man. Can't go wrong with Lionel. All right, evening, fellas. That was good. You can sing, Jeff. I hope all is well with you, your families, and loved ones after the devastating news that hit your area last week. Events like that certainly put things into perspective, and my thoughts and best wishes are with everyone at such a terrible time. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
On to football. Pretty much all the focus recently has been on the Combine, and there were some outstanding prospects on the show. The individual highlight for me was Louisville's Mickey Becton running his 40-yard sprint. Man, that was impressive. Oh, yes. I know what he's talking about. The 6'7", 364 pounds, and he flew downfield like a boulder chasing Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. 5'11", over 40 yards was crazy for a guy his size. The actual highlight, though, was MJ Acosta, but I'd be going way off topic. There seems to be quite a pool of talent headed towards the draft. And with Mike Mayock's magic, I think the lower rounds could be the ones to watch again this year. Speaking of which, how can you not love the way Coach Gruden and Mike Mayock go about their business? The interviews with them were great to watch. Neither gave anything away about how we'll conduct our draft. They admitted there were certain needs, but they didn't back themselves into a corner as to how our strategy will play out. It would be so easy to let a comment slip out when you consider the amount of different interviews they have to do, but they were excellent. The Raiders are not going to show their hand by making statements about players' futures, for example. Why would they tell the world what their intentions are with DC's future when he could be a major bargaining tool down the line? Preach, brother. Mm-hmm. It never ceases to amaze me how the media expect people to be that stupid as to let everybody know our plans in advance. Finally, this week, I still haven't decided which college team I'll be supporting for the season. A little more research is yet needed. Here's my suggestion for you. Let's start with those guys right there, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders.
Well, yeah.
I have a Sizzler score update. All right, here we go. Sizzler score.
Okay.
Houston Raiders Steve and Big Raider Trucker are joint leaders with 4.
Oh, 4?
4.
Holy cow.
Pirate 1975, Coach Davis, Rev Raider, and B-Dog in a Pasture have 3.
Okay.
The rest of us are in their slipstream. Pirate 1975 has won 3 out of the last 7 Sizzlers. He's red hot.
He's on fire.
He's on fire. I also read an article about league bosses thinking about extending the regular season. Not sure I agree with it myself. What are your thoughts? I don't like it. I mean, maybe the extra playoff game, but I don't like the 17-game season.
Nah, I don't either.
And I'll tell you why, and I'll keep it brief because we're going to start running out of time, even though we're going to be here for a while still. I'm a big fan of stats and numbers, as you know, and I think that it skews the records, regular season records. We already did that once when the teams went from 14 regular season games to 16. It would just make that even worse. And then again, even when you add in an extra playoff game, would do the same thing. It makes all these guys, when you have all these extra wild card games and all these like, so-and-so leads has the most postseason victories and blah, blah. Well, yeah, because they're playing more games.
Right.
So-and-so has the leading like blah, blah. Yeah, because they're playing more games. So
right.
I think it skews the history of so I don't like it. I wish they just keep it the same. Keep up the excellent work, fellas. Take care and stay safe. Nashville strong. Right on, brother.
Nice.
Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019, Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, and two-time winner of the Raiders Fan Radio Sizzler Award.
Paul, you the man, brother.
Right on, Paul. Nice.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
Now we got some phone calls.
Let's get to the phone calls, man. Let's jump into it quick. Call the show, 909-345-3346, and leave us a message like our good friend we haven't heard from in a while, Alaska Raider.
Hey, Uncle Mosh, Merv, Swag Jeff, Raider fans. This is Alaska Raider, man, and there's been a lot going on with the talk of Brady, and it's being a lifelong Raider fan, it's kind of upsetting a little bit. I mean, we've been through a lot of crap and a lot of losing, but having Brady come to us is like, I just can't see it, man. It just, I'd rather have anybody else but him. I could see us getting him and Bill Belichick getting Carr for like a second-round pick because I think that would be a value pick, and the Patriots like value. And I could see Belichick doing good with Carr, and then us, with Brady, he can't throw the ball maybe 35 yards. I mean, he's smart. He's a good player, but he's old, and he's Tom Brady, like our nemesis, man. It just burns me just to think of him as a quarterback. But, in the draft, I think we should totally go with Kinlaw because I don't think he's going to be there at 19. So our first pick, we should go with Kinlaw. The next pick should be a receiver, the best one. Cutie, I think, is a little better than CeeDee Lamb, but I don't think he would be there at 19. So CeeDee Lamb with our second pick, and then, we have a good start. Get Littleton as a free agent and Brian Jones, and then our defense, man, and that's where we're going to win at. Maybe draft a quarterback in the third round. Who knows? Or maybe, go after one of the free agents. But, I don't know. Definitely not Brady, man. I don't know. That would suck. All right. Take care, guys. Later.
I love it, Alaska Raider, man. I'm with you, dude. Like, I'm all about just win, baby, and I'm all about anybody that wears the silver and black, and I'll support them regardless. But we were talking about with our buddy Jeff at Domenico's earlier today. Like, Tom Brady, jeez, that's a hard one. Yep. I mean, Mosh literally almost fought me. And and every time I fought him, I've lost. So I wasn't looking forward to that. Mosh was bothered, that I even brought it up.
Well, yeah.
And there are a lot of people that just don't it's just, yeah.
I think most people are that way.
If you're a diehard Raider fan, if you lived through the Tuck rule,
yes,
then because you understand the ramifications of what that was, the literal the
passing of the torch almost for two franchises, really.
Like, it literally changed NFL history. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. So I'm with you, Alaska Raider. All right, next up, another guy we hadn't heard from in a long time, and glad to hear from him, our buddy Alex.
Uncle Mosh, Murph, Swag Jeff, this is Alex Sandoval from Tucson, Arizona. Sorry it's been a while since I've called. Just have a lot of things going on in my personal life. But I want to talk to you guys today about all the Derek Carr rumors going on that he might be traded to a different team. And I wanted to give you my opinion. And my opinion is that the Raiders are not ready for that move just yet. And the reason why is because Derek Carr, I feel, even though he isn't a star quarterback, he's an above-average quarterback. He's in the top 15 as far as quarterbacks, I believe. And unless we can get somebody who is better than him and can be better than him right away, I don't think that we should move on from him, because if we draft a quarterback, that it's a coin toss. We don't know if he's going to be good enough. I don't know if there's anybody in the market who's going to be better than him, guaranteed right away. I think that we hang on to him and we build our team and make our team even stronger. And then when we're ready to have a good quarterback, when we're ready to make that move and make that jump, I think we do so. I don't think that Derek Carr is going to be with Oakland more than 2 years.
I can see that.
I'm sorry, more than one more year. So that's just my opinion. I think that we should keep him just because there's nothing better out there right now. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'm with him. I mean, it's definitely not looking good. I mean, one way or the other, I think that he's relatively short-lived, unless they, I think he's got to about have another year guaranteed. I think that he's going to be our starting quarterback.
Yep.
And if, they make the playoffs, and all it takes is one playoff win. Like, if you think about it, like, all this talk goes away if he wins one playoff game.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And whether that's at home or on the road, maybe he goes on the road to Tennessee or goes on the road to, I don't know, Baltimore and wins a playoff game. Like, we're all loving Derek Carr.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Well, and if he gets us to the playoffs.
Well, he did that once before, though, and then he didn't play but there was no fault of his own, right?
Sure.
But I'm with you, though. Like, let's see something demonstrable.
I want to see Derek Carr play in a position where maybe his job isn't safe.
That's what it is.
I want
to create a sense of urgency.
I want to see a fire lit under his ass a little bit.
Yes.
And, see what happens when he's got Mariota sniffing for that, that starting job, or replace Mariota with whoever, or replace it with Hurts, replace it with, whoever. Jordan Love, whoever's the guy that they're going to bring in to be his backup. Let's see how Derek plays when he doesn't know if he's going to play next week.
Absolutely. I think that's a great source of motivation for him, and I think that's definitely the direction this is going. All right, let's hear from our buddy Alex again.
Uncle Mosh, Murph, Swag Jeff, this is Alex Sandoval from Tucson, Arizona. I called and I left a message, and I wanted to kind of add to it. I was thinking that maybe, to put it my point into perspective, maybe Derek Carr is our Alex Smith, and maybe he's the stepping stone onto something greater down the future. And maybe we keep Carr and maybe we build up the team, and then once we get to the point where we're one player away from being like Super Bowl contenders, from being, deep playoff contenders, then we make our move then. Maybe, maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. That's just what I think. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Alex. Like we said at the first part of the show, I think the free agency, obviously, and the draft, but free agency is going to tell a lot on how much this team and how much this coaching staff and how much our general manager believes in Derek.
Yes.
Are we going to go and get the pieces that we need to go and make him successful? Are we going to bring in a backup quarterback that's going to light a fire under him to make him play at a higher level? We're going to be able to tell what the future is going to look like.
Absolutely. Great point, Swaggo. Great point and great call, Alex.
Yeah, Alex, thank you.
Yeah, good to hear from you again, and keep them coming, bud. All right, so let's head to the Canary Islands, Jeff.
Hey.
So if your lady's in the room and she's listening to the show with you, you may want to do earmuffs, or at least, you know what I mean?
We were talking about Lionel, but Lionel's got nothing on Rico.
Hey guys, Ready Bon Rico here. So I don't know if I'm more annoyed by the coronavirus talk or the Tom Brady talk. They both really annoy me. Probably more the Tom Brady talk. Because at least I can say to the people that tell me about coronavirus, I'm not watching the news. When they tell me about something, I'll say, just deal with it, man. Listen, I wake up in the morning and I didn't put the NFL Network for a while. I say, The Super Bowl is done. They probably stop about talking about Froggy Mahomes and all that clowns. And I say, yeah, they're probably talking some prospect. They probably show some highlights of, I don't know, Larry Fitzgerald doing another year or Adrian Peterson doing another year, you know. No, I have to wake up, turn on the network, and I have to see a clown on the phone talking with another clown on the phone saying, we want you in Vegas. Now, listen, you're a Cage Fight promoter. You got to stop, man. You're nothing in Vegas. You're not a gangster. You're a Cage Fight promoter. Vegas is being full of these employees. You're an employee of the Vegas organization, right? So when you're saying we, I don't really know what you mean by we, because you're not a Raider, you're probably a Patriot fan, you're not a Raiders fan, you better pay your seat. And hey, put to this man the seat up the price, you know. At this stage, give me Derek Carr all day. I want to see this guy pay his seat while watching Derek Carr throwing bombs and making a great season and bring us to the Super Bowl, because at this stage, I don't want anybody else than Derek Carr, man up, more angry, showing up and do his things, because I know he's capable of. So for that moment I was saying, yeah, the quarterback will be good next to him, or if you got the fantastic trade that Jerry Jones called you and say, hey, listen, I give you Dak Prescott, would you like to give me Derek Carr? Oh, well, let's swap quarterback, yeah, why not? You know what I mean? But at this stage, not even that. Listen, keep the man on the roster. You got to wash your mouth when you're talking about Derek Carr. I don't know where you've been in the last, 17 years? We are now in a certain position, because from 2015, that man, 14 or 15, I can't remember, that man comes step into the building. So pay respect to the man. He's already holding some records. He's been through different coaching staff, not mediocre players. We're building something. Listen, at this stage, give me Derek Carr all day. Stop talking about he have to go. If there's someone who want to dump him, we are Raiders, not you, Dana White, not you, expertise of whatever it is. You know, journalists, they're a bunch of vultures waiting for a body to drop. And if you're going to listen to that idiots, to that buffoons, you're an idiot as well. And I tell you what, man, it's better you go cheer up for Tom Brady or Froggy Mahomes or whoever it is, because you know a Raider, you know what? And that's it, man. You got to stay united anyway, support Derek Carr, support the quarterback if we're going to draft a quarterback, a young buck next to him to learn. Don't start a conversation for who have to be in the first place, who have to start. Just support the whole team and get these clowns out of the building. Dana White, Tom Brady, but give me a break. I'm out. Sorry, I'm fed up.
Nicely done, Rico. Appreciate the call as always, my friend. And yeah, man, you know, that was an interesting clip there. So I've got it here. So let's play it. So what he's referring to is UFC, what is he, president, I guess, Dana White, is talking to Josh Jacobs on a face chat kind of thing. And what's interesting is that Dana White has been lobbying hard for Tom Brady to come to Vegas. Now, Dana White is not a Raider fan. He's actually a Patriots guy, if I'm not mistaken, but he's a big Vegas guy. And so he's like, well, if Tom Brady is going to not be in New England, then I'd rather have him here in Vegas. So that's kind of the overall sentiment of where he's coming from. He's just a fan like we are, and he wants, his guy to be in his city. So, I mean, I kind of get it. I don't begrudge him necessarily, but it definitely made news. And I think what's very interesting is Josh Jacobs' response. Let's go to it.
To go with the Patriots, but let me make my last pitch. Las Vegas would love to have you here at the Raiders. The stadium, the facility is incredible. The training facility that they have outside of Vegas is unbelievable. It's a 45-minute flight from LA. Your kids and your family can live there. You can fly back and forth. We want you to come to the Raiders. I've been pitching you now for a month. I love you too. Come on, brother, get to Vegas.
Thanks, man.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I played the wrong one. This isn't him and Josh Jacobs. This is
him and Brady.
Him and Brady. Sorry, I played the wrong one. But still, anyway, sentiment the same.
No, it's been a lot of patience for me. And obviously being where I've been for 20 years, it's been an amazing experience. And I don't know what the future holds right now. I'm just trying to be patient through this process, my first time going through it. And in the meantime, I'm going to spend a lot of time with my family over the next 10, 12 days. And we got a little vacation plan, which I'm looking forward to.
Good for you, my brother. We can't wait to find out where you're going, and good luck.
All right, there you go. So, anyways, I don't want to camp out on it too much more. I'm sorry I played the wrong clip there, but yeah, that's kind of the sentiment, is that you got this guy who's very, very high profile is lobbying hard for Tom Brady. And listen, he's not coming to the Raiders, man.
No,
he's going to be a Patriot, dude. And we were talking about this earlier. Jeff and I were. Is that the more likely scenario that if it's not New England really would have been Tennessee, because he's got familiarity with Vrabel. Right, he's got a good offensive line, a good running game, a great defense. It's a good fit for him and his family. Like, the thing, if the stars were going to align for Tom Brady, not in New England, it would have been Tennessee. And the Titans flat out came out and said,
there was a report today that said that they're not. I mean, they're not actively pursuing Brady. They're more interested in re-signing Tannehill.
There you go. So now that could be smoke and mirrors too, but I don't believe so. I don't think so. And so, I'm with. So all that said, Rico, we're with you, buddy. I don't think Tom Brady's going to be a Raider. I don't think we got to worry about that anytime soon. All right, let's hear next up from our buddy Kevin, the Raider Nerd.
Hey, Raider Fans Radio. This is Kevin, the Raider Nerd. What's going on there, Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff, Capo, and the rest of the made men and women. This is Kevin the Raider Nerd checking in. I want to make sure that Houston Raider Steve isn't the only one that calls in on the off season here, so I thought I'd chime in.
Thank you, Kevin.
First of all, I hope that you guys are safe during these tornadoes in Tennessee. I'm hoping everything's okay. Those things can be really scary, and my thoughts are with you guys, so hang in there.
Thank you.
I want to touch a little bit on, first of all, I guess all of the talk about shopping Carr and possible trading up and getting another quarterback and stuff like that. There's a lot of rumors out there. But realistically, what do you guys think the Raiders are going to do? Do you think that number 12 spot, we're just going to play it safe and get the best wide receiver off the board? I've been racking my brain, and specifically with the free agency happening first. It's really going to matter what happens in free agency, I guess, but I don't know if anyone's willing to chomp on Carr and take him from the Raiders and offer something. And I think the safe thing to do is just to keep Carr through this next season and maybe pick up a late round quarterback and see what happens with them. Like maybe in the third round, maybe we can trade up into the second round and get a pick out of there. But with everything that's going on, realistically, what do you guys think is going to happen? So I'm really kind of curious about that. If you guys haven't already, I want to reiterate, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the article that came out regarding the Raider bias on the NFL officiating. Love to hear more about that. And my last thing I want to mention is that, I heard you say this once, Murph, that sometimes you're weary about commenting on something because other podcasts have covered it a lot. I just want to say that we tune in because we want to hear what you guys have to say. This Raider Fan Radio family that you guys have is really important to us, and don't let any topic be off the board because you felt it's been covered by too much and by anyone else. We want to hear what you guys have to say. I always look forward to your podcast, and I love hearing what you have to say, what Mosh has to say, and also what Swaggy J and the rest of the family of Raider Fans Radio. So anyway, hope you guys are safe. Love you. Talk to you soon. This is Kevin the Raider Nerd, and I'm out.
And that's awful.
Thanks, Kev.
Yeah, man, that's awful high praise coming from Kevin.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Kevin is, he is the proprietor, founder, co-founder of the Fandom Podcast Network. They have 150 shows over there at the Fandom Podcast Network. He and his buddy Kyle do a show called The End Zone. They do a fantastic NFL show. They offer, as they say, mediocre fantasy football advice. And then they have a whole bunch of like pop culture type shows, and those guys are great. So that's, again, high praise coming from our friend Kevin,
absolutely.
the Raider nerd. So I'll answer.
Well, first he mentioned Houston Raiders.
Oh,
Steve.
okay, all right.
And we were looking for the right opportunity. There's Houston Raider Steve.
Look at that. There's Houston Raider Steve. Sent us that picture of him wearing his Get Made shirt, his RFR shirt there. That's legit.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you sending that, Steve. And so Kevin, so he asked a couple of things there. So, if I had to bet my mortgage, Swaggo, I'd say Derek Carr is the starting quarterback for us this year.
I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, so he asked, what do we think is going to happen? I think they're going to do due diligence. I think they're going to explore other players to challenge him, but ultimately he's going to be the man week 1. Will he be the man week 10? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But in the beginning, it's going to be that. And then in terms of the penalties conversation based on that article, all right, so let me say, two things there. And again, we're going to go for a minute still tonight, y'all. We're going to go for probably another 30 minutes. We've got more calls to get to, and we're not going to be in a hurry. That's why we started early tonight. Kind of the last thing before we do this little bit of a format change going into next week. So in terms of the penalties, and in terms of the format change next week, we'll cover it on our RFR rundown, and that way we can establish what the content is in terms of the article, which is that the Raiders have been unfairly penalized over this X amount of time, and there's actually now data to back it up, and we'll dive into the analysis on it. So we will do that, Kevin. We're going to honor that request coming very, very soon. And so on the heels of that, I appreciate what you said about wanting to hear our opinion and our input on it. And again, a little housekeeping for us. We tend to stay away from things that other people have done and or are doing.
Yes.
Even if we came up with an idea that was similar on our own without being influenced, we tend to veer away from that because I don't ever want to be accused of being an imitator. And, I don't listen to other Raiders podcasts. And we love some of our other, podcast brethren, guys like Pillaging Podcast and guys like Mikey and the Behind the Eye Patch guys, like, East Coast Nation. Like, we love those guys. Like, they're colleagues of ours. Like, but I don't listen to them very rarely because I don't want their opinions to become my opinion. I don't want to get their opinion stuck in my head and then me regurgitate it on this show.
Sure.
So that's why, Kevin, we don't typically fall into that. But I get his point, though. And again, I'll honor his request, and we will dig into that subject going forward. So what do you think, Jeff? Is Derek Carr going to be our starter?
Yes. Yes, I do think we bring in a quarterback this year. I do think we bring in a guy like Mariota, like Bridgewater, like...
Ooh, Teddy B, man. I like that one.
Yeah. That kind of guy. Do we trade a third-round pick and bring in Cam Newton? There's a bunch of different options.
There.
There's a bunch of different options, but I think day 1, week 1, starting quarterback for the Raiders will be Derek Carr, and I'm okay with that. I'm good with that.
Absolutely.
I'm good with that because I do think that Mayock is going to address issues that we have.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Absolutely. All right, good stuff there from Kevin. All right, next up, let's hear from our buddy, Rev Raider.
What's going on, Murph? Uncle Mosh, Young Swaggo. This is Rev Raider calling from Jersey. Just recently been watching the Underwear Olympics for the year. And man, there's a lot of talent there, man. I've seen mock drafts predicting that we, Isaiah Simmons could fall to us. That would be crazy. Daggone safety slash linebacker running a 4-3. That's wild.
That guy, I'm going to pause it real quick. That's the pick. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody, and he's not going to, but if Chase Young from Ohio State falls, there are 3 or 4 guys defensively that are like, whoa, you know what I mean? That if they fall, who's the Ohio State cornerback? That we talked about, there's 3 or 4 guys that if they make it to 12, I'm okay with them not picking a wide receiver.
Yeah.
If one of those
if he falls to 9, do we trade up?
So you jump up and go get him. Yeah, good point. Yep.
Also, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a fan of CD Lamb. It's just something in him that I saw in the combine. Like, dude's got a little swag to him. He got a little dog in him, like, that I was feeling, especially when he did that goal line toe tap in one of the drills. That was dope. Also, I was digging what Mike Mayock and Gruden were talking about, and I like what they said. You know, I mean, from what they say, it looks like they're still trying to keep Derek Carr. You know, I'm just gonna stand on what they said, like the kickstand open. You know, leave it at that. You know, but one thing that bothers me, like, you know, the rumors about him getting traded, yay or nay, man, just sit back, eat some popcorn, and just let it happen.
There you
go.
See
what happens.
Yep.
You know, all the speculation, it's just starting to get annoying to me. But that's all I got. You know, love the show as always. Y'all keep doing your thing. Peace.
Awesome stuff there, Rev Raider. Appreciate the call. And man, that's good to hear from him. And man, we got so many to get to. I'm gonna hit the accelerator a little bit on these. All right, next up we got a newly crowned Jeff.
Oh,
newly crowned made man. So we're gonna hear from our buddy JC Raider, and then hit his music after the call.
What's going on, family? This is JC Raider calling from Southern California. What's up, Murph, Mosh, Swaggy J, and the rest of the Raider Nation? This is JC Raider, like I said, so check it out. I got a scenario for you guys. Everybody's talking about how Carr is out of the picture and they want to get Brady and all these other rumors, but man, that's all smoke to me. Keep Carr. And actually, Mayock at the Combine talked about how they don't want to draft a receiver, how they can get receivers in the later rounds. No, that's all smoke to me too. This is my draft scenario. Pick 12. Go get either your CD Lamb or your Jerry Judys of the world. Just those two guys. One of them's going to be there. Trust. Teams are too desperate for quarterbacks and offensive linemen right now. So one of those guys is going to be there. Isaiah Simmons, he's the dream, but don't trade up for him. You don't need Isaiah Simmons. This is what you're going to do. You're going to get CD or Jerry Jeudy at 12. At 19, people are talking about getting Kenneth Murray or Patrick Green from LSU. No. Go get yourself a Henry Ruggs III. Yes, sir. Double up on receivers. And you got yourself what James Jones refers to as a Ferrari. Go get your two receivers in the first round, and you got yourself a Ferrari. And you might be saying, well, what about linebacker? What about defense? This is what you're going to do. Free agency. Go get yourself a Corey Littleton. We got the money for it. Go get yourself a Corey Littleton. Released to here. You know, he's been a good Raider. I like to hear, but he's just a liability in coverage, and he's a tackling machine, but he just can't cover. We saw that last year when he tried to replace Perfect at middle.
Yep.
So cut to here, save yourself a good $7 mil, and with
called that one, didn't he?
Corey Littleton,
sure did.
And you're gonna double up a linebacker too, either Joe Schobert from Cleveland or Blake Martinez from the Packers. Get your two linebackers. Even then, you're still gonna have some money left over. With that money that you got left over, go all in and get yourself a Byron Jones. So that's it. Free agency for defense, draft for your Ferrari. Who knows? Maybe even in the third round we can still get Jalen Hurts. I know that Trayvon Nolan's ex-teammate, I think what was his name, Terrell from Clemson, the other corner. He wants to go play with his teammate Trayvon. So I don't know, man. I think that would be a good draft scenario. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, Raider Nation, baby. Just win.
I love it, man. I love the idea of grabbing two first-round wide receivers.
Oh my god!
And call it a day. Like you got those two guys to match up with Renfro. Like there's your starting three guys for the next, I don't know, 10 years.
Right.
Like that's pretty legit, man. So appreciate the call, JC Raider, and congratulations on being the newest member of the crew.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
Congratulations once again, JC Raider. And so, you know, Jeff, as I was putting the show together tonight, as we were kind of talking about, what we're going to focus on going forward and with our show and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It made me really appreciate the scope of our community. And so I'm going to read through the Made Man list because it's been a minute since we did that, Made Man and Women list. And listen to all the different places that are represented here. And we don't have everybody's city here, but just listen to the amount of people that do identify with their city and how widespread and global Raider Nation is. So we got Jimmy Zebach, Hardcore Raider, Johnny in San Diego, Chuck Splatterhead McCann, Ron in Alliance, Alaska Raider, Dakota Raider, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Red in Yakima, Jim from the East Coast, Yayo in Jersey, Big Raider Trucker, Wyoming Raider, Diego in Georgia, Running Bear in Tulare, Mojo Raider, Junior in San Diego, Beto in, the city. James in Arkansas, Monster Mash Ken, Raider Rue in Utah, Ev Dog, Houston Raider Steve, Jesse in Kentucky, B Dog in a pasture in Texas, Max in San Diego, Max, Rev Raider, Raider Juan, Eye Patch, Alex in Tucson, Ruben in Vegas, Dave in the 330, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Paul in Shropshire, Mississippi, UK, 24 Karat Kev, the cool ass Raider, One Nation Jeff, Chucktown Raider, Haley in Scotland, Queen Haley, recognize, Lino the Full Metal Mexican, Central Valley Raider, RBK Raider, Coach Davis, Raider Ramon, Raider Born Rico, Raider Trucker Dan, Sugar Shane, Super Deuce, Daniel Mangus, his brother, who I don't have, Matthew Mangus, thank you, Just Win Johnny, Pirate 1975, and now JC Raider. What is up, dude? So good.
I love that.
Not the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this chat is the best. This family is the best. This community is the best. You guys make it. Hats off to you, man. You guys are the best.
So good. So good. All right. So, speaking of the Made Man list, another person we haven't heard from in a while. Let's hear from our buddy Jesse in Kentucky.
Hey, guys. This is Jesse. I saw the news about the tornado in your guys' area. I sent you guys a message. I ain't heard anything. I don't know if you guys are okay or not. I'm just calling to touch base with you guys. It looks like you guys got hit pretty hard, at least in your neck of the woods. I know we've never met, but if you guys need anything at all.
All right, I cut off there because he asked me to not play that last part on the air, but he literally gives us like his contact information, and it was like, if you need me, like I got you guys. Like, I mean,
that's family, man.
That's family,
dude.
That's
so cool. Thank you,
good.
Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jesse. We appreciate you, bud. And we're all good, and so continue to support the people in East and North Nashville and the other communities that got hit. All right, so this is awesome, man. I'm going to call this prayer answered, dude, okay? Because we hadn't heard from this guy in a minute, and we know that we don't know the specifics of things, but we know he's had a series of health challenges, and we hadn't heard from him in a while, and so it is very, very good to hear from our buddy Raider Juan.
Yeah, this is Raider Juan. How you guys doing, Merv? Uncle Mosh, thank you for your service. Swag Jeff, Que Perro, and Full Metal Mexican, and the rest of the guys. I'm just calling to say how you guys doing, and I'm still praying for you guys. I need your prayers. I'm still doing pretty bad, but I'm getting better. And I was calling you to think, what do you think, like in the draft game, like 2 wide receivers in the first round, like I see, like some mock drafts you have CeeDee Lamb and Judy, there and the 12 and 19, get those 2, make one of our weakness into a strength. And I've been reading in a couple of places, and they asked about the same thing. What do you guys think about that? That's what I was calling. I'm still listening to you guys all the time. good time watching you on YouTube, and, keep it up. You guys are doing a great job. Okay, God bless you guys, man. Take care.
God bless you too,
Yeah,
Raider Juan.
absolutely.
Man, so good to hear from you, my friend, and prayers with you as always. And we trust that everything's going to continue to be on the upswing for you and stay strong in all that you're dealing with there. And so to answer your question in terms of I think that's a dream scenario for us to get one of those guys. If one of those, if it's CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, I mean, especially as Madden players like we are.
Oh my gosh,
I want that guy on the Raiders.
Well,
I want
yeah.
to play Madden with that guy. You know what I mean? So, but I think that's what we as fans would love to see. You get the explosive playmaker on offense, and then you get a consistent playmaker on defense with number 19. I think that's the ultimate first round knockout for us as fans. So,
yes.
So thanks again, Raider One. We appreciate you, bud, and stay on the mend and call us again. All right, next up, we heard him on email. Now we're going to hear from him on voicemail, and it's our buddy Eye Patch.
Hey, Mosh, Murph, Swaggy J, Nation. Eye Patch is calling in. I really hate all the social media stuff with the Raiders. Every day it's something else, between the quarterback and receivers and draft and free agents. But, sometimes the social media comes in handy, man, when there's a tragedy. I was glad to get in touch with you through Messenger, to see you guys were okay. Got a reply back from you, about all that devastation that's going on over there. I'm glad to see you guys made it through okay. The prayers are with everybody in your area. It's pretty tragic. And it just shows you how precious life is, man.
Amen.
I know you're just a fan radio show, but you become more than that to me. It's like a family. Once you're a made man, we're all pretty close. I got to meet you guys last year at the draft, and it was, I feel like you're part of the family, man. So, to everybody out there, just, give your loved ones a hug, tell someone you love them, because, you never know what can happen, man. Life is quick. So anyway, guys, prayers and thoughts to all you guys and everybody in the area. I understand if you won't be on for a while. So, rest of Raider Nation, peace out, man. Bye.
Awesome stuff, Eye Patch.
Yeah, thank you, Eye Patch.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. That's we appreciate the thoughts and the concerns and the prayers and all that, man. The good vibes sent to us here in Middle Tennessee. So good to hear from you, and keep them coming. Keep them coming for sure. And yeah, and it is, and this is family. And I try to avoid getting too sappy and sentimental about this stuff, but it really is, man. And the motivation to do this show continues to be, the people that listen to us and to tune in and subscribe and do all that stuff. Like that to me has almost become more of a motivating factor than my fandom of the Raiders.
Yes.
Seriously, my fandom of Raider fandom almost trumps my fandom of the Raiders. If that makes sense. It's really getting to that point where, I freaking dig Raider fans, man. They're just awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, appreciate you guys. Thank you, Eye Patch. And okay, so speaking of that, I've got one more to get to that wasn't on the rundown. I'm going to play this straight off of Google Voice because he called in late. But this is somebody I don't believe has called us before. This is a new caller, and it's Big Mike. Big Mike. Come on, Big Mike.
Yo, Murph Fan Cave. This is Big Mike. You might know me as Deuce Silver. I've been listening and washing dishes to your show for over a year now. You've got me through many a lonely night washing those damn dishes, taking care of my family, making sure they're all good, making sure they're well. I wanted to give you guys a call finally and let you know that I've been a Raider fan for quite a while, ever since my grandfather, who happened to play for the Detroit Lions, actually.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Introduced me to the Raiders back in the 80s. His name was Angelo Bosco. Cool. My cousin Robbie Bosco actually played for BYU, was a Green Bay Packer for a while, but still ended up being a Raiders fan. Just
right on.
Couldn't help myself. I also wanted to let you know that I did appreciate show number 159. Looking forward to number 160. And I wanted to thank you guys for the content. As far as any hot takes, I don't have one. Last show I listened to, talking about flaming hot Cheetos and what have you, and Mosh Quakes. So,
Moshquakes.
other than that, it was a good show. I'm looking forward to the next one. You guys take care of yourself. Look forward to hearing from you again. And look for me. I'll try to get up on you. Look for me at Do Silver. I'll see if I can catch your shows live.
Yes.
Usually I don't get a chance to. My woman comes home from work pretty late, and I use her work phone to listen to and watch your show on YouTube while I'm doing them dishes. So I don't get a chance to catch you live too often, but I do watch every day, every week. Take care, and once again, good job. And I do look forward to hearing from Mondays with Mike and Murph again.
Absolutely.
Take care, gentlemen.
Right on, Big Mike.
Absolutely. That was cool, huh? That was
yeah,
good.
Deuce Silver, first time call, man. I dig that.
Very cool. Call us back again, man. 2 more times.
2 more times, man. You get made.
Absolutely, man. Great stuff there. Appreciate you, man. There you go. There's the whole family again.
Yep.
Taking care of his family. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's all about, man. That's what Raiders do, and we appreciate you, Big Mike. And definitely call us back again. All right, so there we are at the end of Sea of Fans. It's almost 2.5 hours worth of show that we've done tonight. This has been fantastic. And so at the end of our Sea of Fans, at the end of our emails and the end of our voicemails, we award a Sizzler. That goes to the best call and or email. And now the last time we did this, there was only a handful of contestants.
Yeah. What was it?
Yeah, wait. Yeah, now tonight we've gone from the puddle of fans,
the tidal wave of fans.
Oh my gosh, man! Right? There's been a lot of folks that called tonight. And we appreciate every single one of you. But Swago is going to tell us who got the Sizzler.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Sea of Fans tonight.
All right,
we opened it obviously with the Capo and with Ty Williams talking about Raider fandom, which was about an hour and a half ago. Seemed like a lifetime ago.
Right? Yeah.
Seemed like a lifetime ago. We opened the emails up with Frank from NorCal, who had a bone to pick with Murph about the new Allegiant Stadium nickname. Ty Raider email talking about a Carr Trolls reference, saying Poppy and Branch is more like Carr and Gruden. Trinidad talked about an update to the podcast tagline, which we need to update.
Noted.
Absolutely. Daniel Manga says, hell no to Tom Brady and Crybaby Rivers. Running Bear says, once a Raider, always a Raider, and let's not forget that. Patch obviously has prayers for Nashville and our Raider family, and he actually has a bunch of Sizzlers because he used to be Florida Raider.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
absolutely. And One Nation Jeff emailed and said, who made who? And is Carr the guy? Was Carr making weapons, or were the weapons being surrounded by Carr? We had Stacy email us saying that the media was misleading us, trolling us. Draft a quarterback, maybe. Maybe some more issues with our team than DC4. Raider J emailed saying Raider Nation is like a Lionel Richie song.
You are the sun. You
right.
are the rain.
That's right.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Paul emailed saying that the lower rounds could be a gold mine in the draft, and gave a Sizzler update. We opened our calls with Alaska Raider that says no for TB12, and he hopes that CD Lamb falls to 19, but I doubt it. Alex from Tucson called ×2 talking about DC rumors and who really is better than DC right now in the quarterback in free agency. Then we heard from Rico talking about stupid Dana White, stupid Tom Brady, stupid coronavirus, and Carr, it's time for you to man up and step up.
Oh.
And then we heard from Kevin the Raider Nerd talking about what we need to do with our picks. Is Carr really tradable? And is the NFL really biased against the Raiders? Rev Raider talked about Simmons possibly falling to us.
Oh, my gosh.
That would be a dream. And do we keep Carr? We made JC Raider, who said to go get a wide receiver. Go get a Ferrari. Let's double up. Let's double up on the wide receivers. Let's go get CeeDee Lamb. Let's go get Ruggs. And then just address free agency in the linebacker position.
I love it. That's a great call.
It's a great call. Jesse in Kentucky just checking in with the tornadoes that went through the Middle Tennessee area. Thank you so much, Jesse, for reaching out. And if we do need anything, we definitely will let you know.
Absolutely.
Raider Juan, great hearing from him. Sounds like he's hanging in there, and he likes 2 wide receivers as well.
Yes.
He just wants to double up. Patch called again with his prayers for Nashville. But
tonight
we had a late entry He snuck
What?
in. He snuck in.
Do it.
He is a first-time caller.
Do it.
And loved episode 158, where we talked about mosh quakes and hot Cheetos while he does the dishes. It's Deuce Silver, Big Mike with the Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler.
Oh, my God.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
You know what? Since Uncle Mosh isn't here, let's talk about movies. Let's talk about movies for a second, because we just heard the Joker.
Yeah.
I watched the Joker recently.
Yes.
The new one.
Yes.
And we talked about it slightly before the show.
Yes.
I dug the movie.
Great movie.
It's a dark movie.
Dark.
It's a deep movie.
Yes.
And it's an intense movie.
Yes.
I love the movie. I don't like the Raider or the Joker storyline as it goes with the DC universe or whatever.
I'm with you. I loved it as a movie, as a standalone, as a character movie.
Yeah.
I didn't love it as a Batman universe movie. And I'm a Batman guy. Like we have a lot of I've read almost all the graphic novels. I've love the Dark Knight trilogy. Like I'm all in for this stuff.
Yeah.
For most everything Batman. And I didn't find it, because the Joker is such a, this is really fun. I'm glad you brought this up. The Joker is such a he's the best villain outside of maybe Darth Vader. The best all-time villain, pop culture villain ever is the Joker. But the reason the Joker works is because he balances Batman. The reason that Batman works a lot of times is because of his villains, Joker being the ultimate one. Now, Batman has the benefit of a rogues gallery. So Batman has the benefit of Riddler and Catwoman and Penguin and, you know what I mean, Clayface and all the other wonderful Batman villains that there are. So Batman can work without the Joker, but Joker doesn't work as well without Batman in that universe. As a character, though, as a movie, it was brilliant, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Acting-wise, it was gorgeous. I mean, it was really, really, really well done. But I'm with you, though. That was missing that element, and that element was the balance of Batman. That was probably more nerdiness than you've ever cared to hear about on this show.
Will you stifle yourself?
No, I will not.
Even though I brought it up.
I know. Thank you,
Even
Jeff.
though
That
I
was
brought
fun.
it up. Speaking of which.
Yeah. It's time to go.
Time to go.
So listen to the sweet sounds there of David Northrup. And go ahead. Actually, you lead us off, because I got to look something up.
Yeah, I am. So thanks for joining us for another thrilling and amazing episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode 159. You can find us anywhere on social media. You can go to Facebook.com/Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, Twitter and Instagram @RaidersFanRadio. Where you tuned in right now, if you're watching the live feed, YouTube.com/MurphFanCave. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to us if you aren't subscribed, and you can win a trip into the swag bag. You can get you a nice autographed shirt from the folks at Murph's Fan Cave at Raiders Fan Radio, and just take a little dip into the swag bag. But yeah, absolutely, call, get made. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for joining in the chat. We got Eye Patch, we got Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Big Easy, Fierce Raider, Fabricator Gil, who else? Logan Moore, Sugar Shane, Eye Patch, Raiderborn Rico. We got the whole gang in here. Thank you so much. Murph, take us home, my brother.
So I saw my buddy David Northrup down at the music store the other day, and I told him about how we were using his song, and I played a little bit for him. And this song is called Fish Bait. And he goes, "Bro, you need to call it Raider Bait." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" I go, he goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "If your people like it," he goes, "if your listeners like it," he goes, "I'll rename the whole song." So here you go. So the name of this song is no longer Fish Bait. It's Raider Bait.
Raider Bait.
So thank you, David Northrup, and thank you to all of those of you that have joined us here tonight. Please consider donating. Nashville Strong. Text to 68683. Text Nashville Strong. Hit that again for me, Jeff. Text Nashville Strong to 68683, and 100% of the donations that you provide there goes 100% to the Tornado Relief Fund. You can also give to the website cfmt.org. We appreciate those. I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you. We value you. We love you, Raider Nation. Thank you for what you do to support us. You rock. Go Raiders. Let's enjoy this offseason.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. You guys make this chat, or you guys make this show what it is. It's amazing. Thanks for tuning in to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And don't you forget, everyone, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Peace. Say goodnight, Vinny.
Good night, Benucci.
I think we all have 7 quarterbacks.
Vinny!
Vinny just said his first cuss word ever.
And he did it on the air. You're not supposed to say that.
All right.
Okay, all right.